Stream has begun. Start the music. Oh, the music playing smoothly, quietly. Warm this place up. How's everybody doing today?
Doing good.
Uchi. Good. Sweet. Okay, well, let's get this going. Without further ado. Say that sort of phrase. I don't know. Sounds like it could work grammatically. One. Boom. All with sound effects today. Greetings all out there, your beloved Monsterites. Welcome to Monstercast number 72, where we'll be talking about your were form of choice. We'll be exploring more about what we mean about that. It probably means what you figure it means. Your were form of choice. But before we jump into that, we will be covering the last art Monster Maker challenge that Donde hosts every month. If you want to join in on those, you can always you don't even have to be in the Discord if you don't want to join Discord. Just find out a way to send your artwork or your submission. It could be anything beyond visual arts. It could be a song that you sang that you've created about a particular topic. Last one was small monsters. And yeah, so you can always submit those either to Donde or me to have those reviewed by Donde. It's not really a contest. We're not looking for the top person. We just review them, custom present them. You guys some a tiny bit of exposure. All creative. So we do that every month. By the end of the month, Donde live chats here with people, and then at the next Monstercast, try to share those. They get two little bits of exposure there. And let's see. Getting into today, I want to wish everybody you're doing well, you're staying healthy and safe out there. And one thing I wanted to really point out is I hope people are really taking advantage of these times, because they really. Oh, Chris. I don't know if I can read it privately. In case it's not a share. I don't want to share his private message. Okay, I'll check that in a little bit. So I wanted to say that the opportune kind of time to catch up on things, develop extra skills. So when people say they're bored or they feel imprisoned or whatever people are saying out there, I'm used to kind of lifestyle, home a lot, especially YouTube more. But I think people should take advantage of it, because all those times in your life that you say that you never got a chance to read this book or watch that movie, thank you, JMPF, boink boink, or let me pull out the YouTube chat, by the way. Read that book or develop that skill, or they want to learn how to draw better or sing better or play an instrument. You know what? Now is the perfect time for you to be doing that. So instead of, I don't know, some people are losing their mind staying at home. Plus, you don't have to stay at home. You can always enjoy nature. Nothing's. In a sense, a lot of us have more freedom now. A lot would argue with me, but a lot of us would have more freedom now than we usually would. So please, do think about that and take advantage of it. And to you students out there that are actually studying even more, sorry, this really doesn't apply much to you. to everybody else out there that normally works, other obligations that they can't attend to because of what's happening in the world state, take advantage of it. It's a great time to do it. Um, yeah, not much else. If anybody wants to add more to that, do. Otherwise, we'll move forward. We'll present the um, Monster Maker submissions for this month. We'll look over them here. There's not going to be too many. I probably wouldn't say more than 5, probably less. We'll talk about them, then we'll jump into the monster war form of your choice. And I'll specify.
Yeah, right now would be.
What's up, Dande?
Right now would be a good time to like learn how to make a game, so someone can make a monster game.
Yeah, there's another suggestion: writing a novel. I know a lot of people want to learn how to write better or write a novel. A lot of people have ideas and all this stuff, and they always reach out to me or something and let me know. I think there's always time to do that. Well, not always time, but I'm saying there's always a way you can change your work, do what you love more in life. Again, this is more to people that are working out there, jobs. As school is maybe less flexible for some. But yeah, making a game, anything. If you want to launch some Kickstarter or whatever it is, it's the opportune time to do. No excuse not to right now. And being depressed or looking at the world as it is, what's for that? You have more freedom to catch up on all that stuff you've always wanted to. Your social life might be a lot of time on the internet, but aside from that, it's good to nonetheless learn how to enjoy life. Not alone. I'm sure none of us are really alone completely, but in the way currently. Because in the end, if you're not happy alone, you probably won't be happy with other people as well.
Hey, Arthur.
And hey there, who said that? Was that redacted?
That it was. I was just curious. What is this social life thing you were talking about?
Just made a little introduction talking about the times we're dealing with and how people maybe should take advantage of it.
No. What I asked what a social life is.
Oh, what a social life is.
Get it? Because
Yeah.
I don't have
Well,
one.
well, Bog, by the way, this is Boggo. Boggo, this is our social life right here. You asking me what a social life is and me not knowing how to answer it because I have a real social. This is our social life. You see, look at this. There's 6, 7 of us, plus Louis there, of course. Greetings, Monster Master and Monsterites. Greetings, Louis. This is our social life. So there you have it. So you have no right to ask that here, Boggo. But once we're off the voice, then you can ask.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there we go. So let's go to Dande's Monster Maker Challenge. And we'll proceed from there. So, Dande, take it away.
All right, the first small monster that was made is by GMPF, and he wrote down the chocolate worms are the larvae of a beetle species which inhabits cocoa trees. The worms parasite primates, driving them to compulsively eat cocoa fruits or just chocolate so they can feed on it. The adults leave the body with the feces together with and disguised as cocoa seeds.
Nice. Creative. Again, more, would it be cryptid? Kind of cryptid, but more animal kind of type of monster here. Find among nature. So again, what is the point of the feces? What happens with that? Get left out?
This guy says itself as seeds.
Okay, disguise itself as. All right, very cool. Is there anything dangerous about these little guys?
Only if you can eat too much sugar or chocolate.
Okay. So can I eat these little bugs and I'll be fine? I'll get some protein. Do they taste like chocolate?
Maybe. And maybe they will taste like chocolate.
Right on. Okay, guys. If you have any comments, let us know. Write them down anytime as well. And Monday will proceed to the next one if you don't.
All right, the next one is by Raincrawler, and it's called the Babyface, a creature that evolved disguising itself as a baby, only his head. He attacks with a poisonous stinger. Once the victim can't move, it creeps slowly, eating his target alive. But if the victim is pregnant, he will substitute the fetus, acquiring all the mother and father DNA, a complete body transformation, feeding from the inside. For the woman, the incident will be removed from her memories. After birth, he will keep with the family for 3 years, then it will disappear, part of his life cycle, leaving the parents wondering what happened to their beloved child. It is said that after the 3 year, his body will once more morph into his original state, but keeping his new face. He reproduces by bipartition, absorbing a part of his host to increase his adaptability.
That's pretty awesome.
I mean, babies were already terrifying, but
Right. Louis says they sound delicious. I'm just kidding. Louis is referring to the previous share, the chocolate worm bug. Okay. Anything else? Anybody else want to share anything about raised babies? It sounds painful, dramatic. Okay, well we'll keep going and then we'll discuss which ones are our favorite here. Go ahead, Donde. Anybody chime in? Reciprocity, anybody can be a monster man. Gotta work at. Still pro. Another baby thing. All right, let's go with the next one, Donde. Niño de la Tierra type of monster. Awesome. Huh. Luis said Niño de la Tierra type monster. We gotta Google that real quick. Oh, crap. I'm back. Sorry. I think people heard me online on YouTube, but not here. Removed. I was checking on Chris's message there. And so I opened another Discord and it kicked me out of here and I forgot to get back in. Sorry, guys. Everybody hear me okay now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I was saying, well, you heard me, right, Louis? From that side. Okay, so as I mentioned before, Louis said they sound delicious, referring to the previous monster, the chocolate one, the chocolate bugs.
oh, I thought
Yes.
you were talking about the baby.
Yes, that was my initial joke, but nobody heard it, so now I had to breeze through it. Niño de la Tierra type monsters, awesome. Louis says. So I'm trying to figure out what Niño de la Tierra monsters are. I'm gonna Google that really quick. About. And then he said it's a baby monster thing. Well, looks like when you search a Niño de la Tierra, it's the Jerusalem cricket, those big giant crickets. So I guess that has the same name. Huh, interesting, Louis. But obviously there's a monster or cryptid with that name as well that Louis is referring to. Okay, if nobody has anything to say or anything that I didn't say, go ahead, Donde, with the next one.
All right, the next one is from Phoenix Griffin, and it's called the baby-backed spider. A spider-like entity that hides in the homes of residents that have just had a child. The creature absorbs the head of the baby into its own body, then consumes the rest, bones and all. Depending on the behavior of the parents, the spider will lure them in by either causing the baby to cry or giggle. It only reveals itself when it has gotten the parents to believe that it is their baby, giving it ample opportunity to leech off the parents and command them into performing certain tasks, such as, but not limited to, having them carry eggs to other households, killing off threats, eating foods that'll benefit the spider during feeds, and helping it suffer any injuries or illnesses. A baby backed spider will live in the household until the day it either dies or when its victims die.
Alrighty. The next time you guys
With
are
all
eating.
the baby monsters.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
that's
seriously, babies are scary enough.
what I was surprised with when I saw both baby. I wonder if they got inspired by one another. What happened there? That's why I had to re research or relook at what the topic was. Why so many babies? The next time you guys are
Too many
eating baby
babies.
back ribs, there could just be a baby back spider. Pretty.
Bring it out, baby back, baby back, baby back.
The first thing I thought about when he said baby back spider. There's Gargamel. Welcome, Gargamel. And that's a more of a US joke because that's an advertisement we often get here about a restaurant, or would get. Let's see. Some people think it's a Jerusalem cricket, but that's incorrect. Oh, so they're the wrong ones, Louis. Well. Let's see what else is. Although folks seem to call it that anyway. Okay, so we got two babies and Super OCD. What I was saying when I kicked myself off is anybody can become a monster man. Hey OCD, you just gotta work it. And Proe and
Hello,
Pro,
guys.
not Proe. I thought you'd be done with that modding by now. And greetings again, Gargamel. Good to have you here.
Yeah. I had trouble hearing you there for a moment.
Cool. We're going
Sorry.
over the last Monster Maker submissions for the month. Donde's presenting
Okay.
them. I'm not sure if we have any more, but I think Pro, you liked that last one very much. I think you would love to have a creature like that among around you and among the scorpions that live there. One can never be done with modding Earth. Okay, so Donde, if there's more, let us know.
Okay. Speaking of monster making, I just started a new I started creating a wool anvil. If you guys want to see it one of these days, maybe I'll post a link to it here when I have some more work on it done.
Sure. Yeah. Anytime you're around, yeah, post it. You can always post progress shots as well. Work in progress.
Yeah.
And Louis said, "Greetings, Gargamel."
I only have
Gold."
one picture up of it anyway, and that's like the map of the world. So if you like read any of like the different like things I posted, you won't see any pictures of like the actual creatures. I just have some descriptions of them
I see.
right now at the moment, but they're
Cool.
pretty detailed descriptions.
So what is this that you're working on? Is it a novel?
It's like a fantasy world thing. I'm just building it for fun, part because I being stuck in the house, I have limited things I can do.
Sure. You guys, exactly what I was talking about at the start. Gargamel's taking advantage of that time. Free time in a sense, but time maybe stuck in the house a little bit, but sure, it's time, free time nonetheless, that you can really take advantage of and get to those things you never normally get to. Video games, I'm sure people are taking advantage of that a lot. So that is,
And we should, because it might be a long time. It sounds like because some people still aren't taking this serious enough. I'm not gonna name any names or talk about any place in the country, but it might get a lot worse now before it gets better, and we might be here a lot longer than we think we will be.
It's kind of,
it's possible I'll still be cooped up on my birthday and quarantine because people, it's just not getting that better that much fast. And
Right.
my birthday's in like May.
Gotcha. Strangely enough, this all started at my birthday. My last day of
Oh,
my other job was the day before my birthday. After that, I had my birthday, and the next day I was going to go back to work, and then I never did. I guess my birthday kind of launched all this off. I'm sorry, everybody.
well,
This was all.
it wasn't your fault, although it just happened by coincidence. Don't
Sure.
blame yourself for something you have absolutely no control over.
Yeah. But that's, and it's true. People aren't taking it serious enough, and so it ruins it for everybody else. Just treat it as any other sickness, people. Do you want to get sick with anything else? No. So just treat it as that. If anybody says you're taking this too seriously, just tell them you don't want to get sick with this or anything else. And it is flu season, so that's common sense. But
Well,
there's
it's not even just that. It's much worse than, the regular flu. And I would be
Right.
working right now, except for the fact that both my brother and my mother, who I live with, have compromised immune systems. So I cannot take a chance that I get sick because I'll get them sick if I do.
right.
And where am I going to go if I'm sick and I
Yeah,
the hospitals are overloaded as it is, and I don't,
exactly.
and I have to help be around them and stuff. And
I
so it's just
was
the way it has to be right now.
I was surprised by how
Ironically, even though I have less money from working, I have, more money to spend on things like video games and stuff because I'm not eating out like at all. Like normally I eat out like at least like
yeah we stopped eating
like
it.
3 or 4 times a week, and I'm not able to do that anymore.
Right. Yeah, I was surprised by how many people didn't think about that logic of it, that hey, it's not just about you, it's about your loved ones as well, and the older ones. For me, it's largely not even, yeah, I don't want to get sick myself, but even more so, I don't want to get my wife sick. So that's even more motivation not to take this more seriously. To take this more seriously, not to take this. Everybody caught that. So yeah, and I think the big bright side of it all is, in a sense, we do have a lot of freedom now, or free time. Some people will disagree if I say freedom, so that's a controversial word for some people to use, but at this point, free time. A lot of people have a lot free time, and that's a big positive in all. Like Gargamel said, he's saving money from other things, so he can spend more money on those other things that he can take advantage of now, which are usually a lot of fun type things like video games or books, or things that can help you develop a skill or learn something. And why not take advantage? We're all asking for these huge holidays. You got it. You shouldn't be depressed. I mean, feel bad about what's happening in the world, and when you watch the news, sure, that's not happy stuff, but in your own time, I mean, take advantage of it. This is once in a lifetime, and beyond that. I mean, once in a, who knows what. It's the first time it's kind of happened to this point, so have fun. Try to have fun. Take advantage of it, and yeah, move forward. Survive, be strong. What did Louis say here? That sounds cool. Future Monstercast baby looking monster. Yeah, we should do a baby looking monsters. Hold on, Donde. Gargamel's right, Arthur. Don't blame yourself, man. No, I was just kidding. About me starting off the whole thing. I meant don't not deny. Okay. Donde, sorry guys, let's move forward. Donde, do you have any more shares for us for the Monster Maker Challenge?
There's only one more, and that is Dondo, who's created by Arthur many moons ago when he was playing on a game, and he just uttered those words and it formed. So now every time you say the name, another one takes its place.
Oh crap. I didn't know they reproduce like that. If that is or duplicate like that. Guys, so don't use that word anymore. Dandy. Dandy's kind of a fun person. That one gets annoying a little bit. And Dandophilus, I haven't introduced yet. Don't pro. Dande's cool. We all like Dande, but the O one, the Dand with an O at the end, don't say that word because every time we say it, another one gets created.
You
So
mean Gando?
Dondo, 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 dondo.
thanks,
Oh
pro.
no! 1,000,000 of them now exist! They're attacking us all! We're all gonna die!
They're gonna help spread the coronavirus now. Damn it. And pro, that doesn't work. You got to be on voice to do it. So Dande, do you have any? How is this a small monster, Dande? Hmm?
No, because it's a small creature that's underneath a foot.
Oh, yeah, that's what a
It has
Dande
so
is.
many
Oops.
and shape that it's hard to put them all together in a drawing. Also, I had one, but I don't know what happened to it.
And since it is quite malevolent, I guess you can all agree that it is a ankle biter of a monster. So now we know, we've learned a little bit more about the form of a Dan-O and what it looks like, at least its height.
At this point, just say the whole word. Gargamel did enough damage that
He
you don't
did.
have to worry about it. It's like a drop in the ocean just to say Dando.
But hopefully they appeared in his location. I don't want him to appear here. I don't need any more issues. I don't need anything coming into my house, my nicely quarantined place, furry or not, Dande-ish or not. That said, Dande, you're always welcome. But the other half of you, or that's not even a half, it's like a quarter or a sixth. I don't know how many duplicates of you there are. I don't want to find out yet, Dande. So that's everything. That's everything, correct, Dande?
Yes, that's everyone.
Okay. So let's review them real quick, and then we'll get started with the were form of your choice. Hello, guys. Hi, Raincrawler. I got allergies around this season, and folks look at me weird for sneezing, so I have to let them know it's allergies. Yeah, not a good place to do that.
You know, a guy who's like an uncle to me. He's had a smoker's cough for years,
Mhm.
and now there's this one lady where he lives that just looks at him accusingly every time he coughs. Like,
Right.
I've lived here for years, and I've always had this cough.
Yeah, it really sucks for certain folks. Louis, you said, note you can get ticketed for not having a mask when going out in public? Really? Not in Colorado yet, at least, but I guess in Washington you can. See, the Americans, my goodness. I mean, Asians got the point. My wife kept telling me about it earlier. She's Asian, if anybody doesn't know. They wear masks. In Japan, people are very used to wearing masks, and it was pretty, clean in Japan, except for pollution, and that was one of the main reasons they would wear that too. In Vietnam, they'd wear them driving, and the rest of Asia. But the masks are more common there. It's not a big deal, and it's common sense. Things get in your mouth. We breathe. They can still get in your eyes though. So if you do wear a mask, you should probably wear glasses as well to complete the whole ensemble, right? But in America, they're like, they don't know if masks are good or it's like common sense. Yes, these things get in your mouth, and it's not a big thing that'll prevent something from catching you, but it doesn't do any worse, and it does help just that little bit because you're not breathing in directly any things that are in the air through your nose or mouth, and that's where they get in through. So yes, masks are helpful. Maybe not much. It depends, but especially when you're talking to people and going to the store, masks do help. But that's the funny thing with the US is they don't accept that until finally now, and when they accept it, they already issue tickets if you're not wearing it. That's kind of scary almost, if you think about it. There's certainly a scary side to all this. I don't want to talk about it now, and I'm talking beyond the disease, the virus itself. It's the rest and what people in power can really do. But anyway, let's not get into that. Let's look it over. Okay, so Dande, you shared the what was JMPF's called? I just see chocolate worm. but it was the little chocolate beetles. So that was JMPFs. That's a really fun one. Then we had rain crawlers, I believe. So thank you, rain crawler, for joining in again. Reminds me of the Strigoi a little bit. Another the first baby creation, and then Griffos. It's funny because when I first saw rain crawlers, I was like, okay, that's disturbing. Cool, I like it. Babies are on a monster body is a very disturbing idea. It's a very ugly idea, but I love it. And I don't think it's like I love it. It's beautiful, like monstrously beautiful. I wouldn't even say that with it. It's just ugly, but I just love it because it is so
babies are
twisted.
ugly. Just imagine a
Yeah.
big baby made out of a bunch of little babies.
I drew one with a kind of spidery mechanical body, and the top was just the upper torso and head of a baby. So one of my sketches was like that. It wasn't featured on the channel, but I did share it on my website, which might be going down soon. I don't know if I'll keep it. And my wife hates it because it's a disturbing thing. But I always make this clickety clackety weird sound effects around it with baby crying sounds to freak her out more. Pretty funny. So I thought that one was disturbing, but then when I saw Griffos, Phoenix Griffins, this one, which looks kind of like a spider slash crustacean, like a lobster or something. It looks like a mix between
It's a hermit
arachnid
crab.
and crustacean.
It's
Yeah, it looks like
literally
a
just
hermit crab. Right.
It's a hermit crab that's just using the skull of the baby.
Right, but you see the mouth, the face of this hermit crab looks more arachnid-like, and then the legs do as well, but the other parts look more, hermit crab or crustacean-like. So it's like a mix of these two, and then the baby head in the back. And then you see the eggs or something in the mouth. So, and just looking at that face, seeing how false it is, how fake the head of the baby is, that kind of hit me as more creepy. So let's talk about which one you guys like the most out of these three. And then there's, of course, the one we don't name, the Voldemort of our monsterhood. So which one of these we like the most, but which one also is the most creepy? Because I know there's a lot of people that suffer arachnophobia to some degree here. So I'd like to hear, especially from you folks, which one of these is the most creepy for you? Those were my thoughts. Log off the main voice cavern. Is there something? Oh, okay. That was earlier. Okay, so let's start with you, Donde. What do you think when you were looking over these? What were your thoughts? Did you have a favorite? What did you think was most creepy? So on and so forth.
I don't know. I thought the chocolate one was pretty neat because you never really expect some sort of creature to make you eat chocolate and then come out looking like chocolate so it can be eaten again, I'm guessing.
Right.
And also the baby ones were kind of interesting. I wasn't expecting any baby monsters to pop up at all.
Agreed. I wasn't either. Yeah. Now that's a pretty cool parasitic type idea. Like you have those worms that get. Is it a worm? No, it's a worm, and it gets eaten. It goes into a snail or slug, then it gets eaten by a bird, then it repeats that. That cycle, that parasitic type worm. Again, guys, we always talk about that.
The one that makes the eye stalks swell up on snails.
What was that, Boggle?
You mean the parasite that makes the eye stalks swell up on the snails so they're easier for the birds?
Right. Yep, and they start almost. It looks like a strobe light effect. It's pretty cool, just so that the birds see it and then they eat it and then they poop out the worm again and then it enters another snail and so on.
Because they can only breed in the insides of.
Ooh, Phoenix is watching us. Watch out, guys. She's out there. Put your spy eyes up and arm yourselves. The one note, Louis said, the one in the crib is creepy to me. Yeah, the one in the crib. Let's take a look at that one again. Actually, that one looks the least creepy. It looks like a regular baby. So you know what's going on under those blankets. Griffo is the creepiest one. Yes, she is. Cool. Got that. Hello, Rain. Sorry for late reply. Hello, Phoenix. Good thing I made sure to check the MC was waiting on it today. Right on. Glad to have you here, Phoenix, and we're all enjoying your work.
I'm starting to notice a trend between Phoenix and the baby creatures and baby armor sort of thing, or golem.
Armor? I'm just imagining somebody strapping a bunch of babies to themselves and
What are you referring to, Donde?
I'm not going to name it, but I think they know what it is.
Gotcha. All right. Well, cool. Let me read up what you guys said. Donde shared his thoughts. To never be done. Okay. I really need to get organized here. Okay. Har. What he's referring to is far worse. Oh. Ring crawlers and griffos are equally creepy, says Pro. Okay. I used to have arachnophobia. Now I live peacefully with a bunch of manhunters. Okay. Interesting. As Donde said. Cool. And we got our eyes on you, Griffo. No funny business. Baby armor, that's dark. That does sound very dark. And it made me think of, and I'll just share this and we'll move on to our word topic of the day. It made me think of, because I'm playing through on a nightly basis for weeks now, actually. I've been playing Kingdom Death Monster, this board game. It's a very dark board game, awesome board game, but very dark in nature.
I thought
Definitely.
you could do a video. I think you're gonna do board game let's plays on your channel. You never got around to doing that.
Yeah, I'm still not sure if I will or when I will. That's something a smaller percentage of the people want, so I'm just not sure, because that's gonna take a lot of time, you know.
You also have more time now, home, because you can't really leave.
Right.
Maybe going for walks, and even then you have to be really careful.
I'm thinking I might do it still in the future, but I'm just not sure, because if I'm gonna put weeks of effort into a video, and that would take probably more than a week to do and edit, because I don't want to just film it and throw it up there. I know that's not gonna do well, just like whatever. But I'll have to edit it up, so I have to make sure that if I spend a week or two working on something, either I have to really, really love it, or make sure it gets the exposure that I'd want it to get at that level. So we'll see. But yeah, Kingdom Death Monster. It's an adult board game. Dark, very cool theme and monsters. And last time we were hunting the next monster to battle, and we were just kind of swarmed by these pigeons. They're called cancer pigeons. I don't know why cancer pigeons, but they're basically pigeons with baby heads on them, making this, eerie baby squealing sound as they all started attacking my survivors in the game. And that was at the same time that I was looking at these submissions by Griffo and Donde. So wacky stuff. I guess it's been a week of baby-headed monsters.
That reminds me of the spider-headed, like the spiders that had skull, like sort of skull baby heads. Well, actually, they weren't baby heads. There was like these other creatures that had like insect bodies in Doom 3, and they had baby heads.
Yep, same here.
Really disturbing.
Very disturbing, but it's kind of, weirdly cool to experience for a horror. As a horror theme, we don't see it enough in movies, actually. We always see the little girl thing, the innocent little girl being the scariest thing, right? Especially from Japanese kind of lore and horror. But we never see baby-headed, creepy stuff. I'd like to see more of that in actual movies done right. By right, I mean scary. Okay, let's move along. If anybody doesn't have anything more to share, then let's move along. Dante, you don't have the next Monster Maker challenge to announce, do you? Do you have it ready yet?
It'll probably be chimera monsters, where you just take two creatures and make a monster out of them.
Okay. Maybe I'd like to add to that challenge if you agree with it, Donde. So chimera type monsters, and he said a combination of two. It will probably be that, he said. So that's not totally official, but you did hear it from Donde. So I'm thinking, how about, especially if you're gonna attend these reviews of your submissions, choose two creatures to make your chimeric monster, but don't maybe say what they are. And our challenge will be to guess what the two halves are. It could be very obvious or not. I think that would be a little fun back and forth challenge. What do you think, Donde? Would that be all right?
Yeah, sounds pretty good.
Cool. So yeah, two creatures, not more so far. He will announce the official verdict on the next topic in our events section of the Discord. So two creatures for now, and don't try not to tell us what they are. Just draw it. Tell us some lore about it if you want, but we'll try to figure out what they are in the next Monstercast as well. Okay, let's move on then. Are we all good with all this, Donde?
Yep.
Right on. Okay, so here we go. Let me catch up with you guys. Yeah, baby skin. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't know why. Laugh out loud, Griffo. What's on your mind here? Laugh out loud. Oh yeah, baby skin golem, me and Dan's chatted about out of nowhere. Then realized how weird it was. Yeah. Wacky stuff. Pretty interesting. Made me think of real quick, because I heard about, okay, so real quick, I don't want to go off on into the forest too far here, but it made me think of, because in Asia, I heard about eating fetuses and babies, I think even in Japan, but this isn't just there. I mean, don't start. Yeah, anyway, so that made me think of it, which made me think of cannibalism. And you know what I learned this week, or last week, I don't remember when. Cannibalism is actually legal. It's legal in the UK, it's legal in the US, it's legal in Japan and some
Legal
other
in the
countries.
US. You just can't murder somebody.
Right. It's all a matter of how you get a body that is illegal or legal. That's the tricky part of it all. But the act itself, if everything is done legally to the point of doing it, it's completely legal. One guy even did it in front of a police office to demonstrate. So anyway, that's just I don't know if that's a fun fact. It's a creep fact, because that's what we do here at World of Monsters. Moving on, Louis said, hey, is becoming a war creature because of a curse considered a war monster? Because of a sure, we're just looking at which creature do you choose?
Basically what a were creature is.
Yeah, I mean, it could be
Yeah,
a curse.
it also
could be
depends on the
anything.
in the law, in like the law and stuff, to what a rare creature is. Like in the show, the Order, the werewolves in that show are kind of unique, and I'm gonna give one thing away about them. You do not become a werewolf in that universe by getting bitten by a werewolf. The werewolf, the way you become a werewolf, is much different than what is normally portrayed in, like, other fantasy universes.
Yeah. It's always fun to see, though, those explanations for how you become one expressed in different ways and creative ways. Yeah, the most common is probably curse and biting, but there are definitely other ideas you can come up with and that I've seen out there. Becoming aware. So isn't it? Originally, I was gonna have a baby crying, but then I realized every horror baby monster is crying, so I made it happy. Yes. And it seemed unnatural. Exactly, Griffo. That's why I think yours, finally, even though Raincrawlers had more creepy, like scary aspects, generally scary aspects, your, I think, is more creepy to me because of the realistic mix of the counterpart creature you made between an arachnid and a crustacean, but also that baby head and how fake it looks and falsely real, falsely human. Just looking at those eyes and seeing how happy it is, that was a good choice, and I'm glad you did it instead of that crying one, for sure. Imagine that giggling sound, like in movies they always, or not always, but often they use the laughing sound of children in some eerie place, because that's a scary idea, right? You're somewhere very dark and you hear children laughing at a distance at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's just a creepy theme. But now imagine on top of that a baby crying, which is also added to a lot of things. I think that was even in Doom or something that you do hear or Prey. I don't remember which game where you hear that.
Doom 3 had these things that were called cherubs, and they're like insects,
right,
with baby heads. That
but
was
I
in Doom
mean,
3. And then in the
uh-huh.
game Prey, which was not the current version of Prey, but like this older version of the game Prey that had this, like, where you play as like a Native American and you were
Yep.
abducted by aliens, that had murderous ghost children in it.
Yeah, I think that's the one where you heard the sound of the kids.
Speaking of baby monsters, don't forget in Warhammer they've got the
the cherubs.
There's one faction that has the cherubs that are just the babies that have been modified with tech, so they'll help people reload.
Well, damn, that's the
That's
Imperial.
their only reason to exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, Warhammer 40K, that's like dark.
Yeah. So next time you think the Imperial is the right side, remember they have flying cherub baby things. Every side in Warhammer is twisted, right?
Yeah,
We've agreed
there
on
really is no quote unquote right side in Warhammer 40K.
Right. No.
Every single one is messed up in some incredibly horrific way.
I don't know. The techno lovers are pretty neutral as far. Besides the fact that they sell weapons to other factions, they're pretty neutral. That's the worst thing they do. Capitalizing off of the other people's hatred of each other.
Yeah. So, and thanks for that shout out. Prey was an awesome game, guys. The original Prey. I don't know about the later Prey. I think it's unrelated, but the first one.
It's completely unrelated. Unrelated.
The first one
takes
was
place
awesome.
in a completely different universe.
One of my favorite things with the first one, I shared it before, is the intro. The beginning of it was just awesome, and you are a Native American in it, but it's modern time and all. It's awesome. It's an awesome game. I heard a Curtis cat. Oh, I hear some cat shuffling noises. Oh boy. Hello there. He has the guts to speak to us.
Yes.
Hello.
All right. I am taking way more time, but it's all good. It's all just us talking about this stuff. So as long as you guys don't rush me, I feel it's all right. Let me catch up with YouTube, and then we'll finally get to our topic. Baby crying. Yeah. So that was a good choice. Yes, good idea, Arth. Pig tastes better than human. It's more tender and cleaner and more legal. Even more legal. Yes. True, Louis, although in some religions it isn't very legal at sometimes points of the year.
I mean, to be fair, it depends on what the human was eating and what sort of shape they were.
Yes, well said. And, of course, how you prepare the meat. I got the
Also, human usually smells sweeter when it's burning. I know that because of people I've known who are firefighters that can't stand bacon anymore because like the smell of a person who'd been burned or had burned to death was like sweet bacon.
Sweet smell, I see.
Lovely.
I think I heard that before. Okay, that's interesting. Another interesting
I
creep
told you
fact.
that before, but you. I just like saying.
Interesting. I got information from. I got the information from Cannibals. Louis says. I think it was Discovery Channel video back in the day. Oh, I thought you actually talked to some cannibals. Okay, cannonballs. So interesting. Phoenix said another reason I went with a baby idea was I remembered playing Resident Evil Revelations 2 and how the only part that creeped me out was when I walked through the baby dolls section in Barry's campaign. Yeah. There's another one.
That's
All right.
because dolls are.
What's that?
That's because Victorian era dolls are fine. Also, fun fact: my grandmother used to have some porcelain dolls. Those
Wonderful. Okay, guys. And
she gave
Bago,
one to my sister. And
porcelain dolls, it would be fun to do an art challenge with a porcelain doll. You have to get a porcelain doll and make it creepy. I mean, creepier than it already is. Sounds like a fun art challenge.
like, just send a picture of the regular porcelain doll. I don't.
Right.
Arthur,
Yes, sir.
Arthur, check out the reborn babies, those realistic baby dolls.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have time to look them up now, but when you have the opportunity, check out the vampire and zombie reborn babies.
Can you post a link or anything?
I don't remember the website, but
Oh,
I
okay.
remember seeing them, and they are pretty creepy. I think there's also werewolf ones now too. Then I think
Mhm.
about it, which would be kind of even more appropriate now because we're talking about were creatures.
Yeah, definitely check that out. Pro said sharks don't like us because we taste too sweet for them. I heard years ago when I was a little monsterite of myself, the animals don't like to eat us because they don't like the taste of us. I don't know how true that was. I think to some degree, but I don't know if it's because we're sweet. Possibly. Pro.
Well, there's some animals that are especially prone to getting a taste for human flesh, such as tigers.
So there's some that will prefer. Yeah, I mean, sweetness.
Yeah,
The taste of sweetness is a very beloved taste by most. We could say most organisms on this planet.
Big cats can taste
I
sugar.
mean bears especially. They love berries.
Yeah,
and...
everything. Your dog's gonna love sweet. Everything I've ever
Oh yes, my
encountered.
dog loves.
So
I don't have a dog anymore.
I don't know what it is.
Not because of that. He got hit.
My idea that got formulated, if we do taste bad, I think personally, we're really going all over the place here, and it's all because of you, Donde. Because of your other half. I don't even believe I'm talking to you, Donde, today. I don't think you're here. I think it's the other one, the one with the O. So, thanks a lot.
Dondo is coming to attack Arthur now. Dondo, Dondo.
You better be wearing your mask.
Dondo, get me house. Give him the coronavirus.
What is happening to our Monstercast? So, oh yes, so my idea why I think humans would taste bad is for the same reason why I think our poop is probably more disgusting than other animals. It's because the variety of, I want to say shit that we eat, but the variety of foods that we eat. If you have someone that feeds on more, raw things and the usual things and healthy foods and fresh and organic, I think that person will probably taste better to an animal or whatever than those people that just eat burgers, drink soda, eat candy, all this crap. Probably all of us here indulge in at least every once in a while. I think that's what's going to mess up how our meat tastes, because we just eat stuff and flavors and different mixes of things that no other animal really eats. We are beyond in the scope of crap that we can eat. And I think that would make us
I'd
taste pretty bad.
Aside from seagulls, rats, and some other things like crows, you're probably right. But those few kind of
true.
will eat most of the stuff that we put out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't take into consideration too much, creatures like pigs and rats. Yeah, and what we even feed farm animals. Ooh, that's nasty. And think about it. You are what you eat. And you are also what you eat also what that thing eats. So, yeah, just think about that next time.
Get fed ground up bits of other chickens.
Yep. Yeah. They're cannibals. Everything to a degree. Well, yeah. I just remember when I worked at Frito-Lay, which we made potato chips and corn chips. big company, PepsiCo, billion-dollar company. You guys have all probably eaten the product that the type of product we produced at that factory. And all the crap, the stuff we would clean off the floor, because chips would be everywhere, right, in the factory. And in the end, you clean it up, you throw it away, and there's this grinder in the back. And all the chips that were on the floor and everywhere that we cleaned up that weren't actually bagged would go into that grinder. And I'm talking, hundreds of pounds of ground chips, corn, and everything, and whatever's on the floor and dirt mixed with water. They would send that off to farms as food for cows. So, yeah, I kind of saw directly, what one of the things that they feed cows. And yeah, it's quite disgusting. And they love it. Of course they're going to love it. It's full of salt, some sugars, and potatoes. Yeah, that's why they make billions of dollars, because not only cows love them. Alrighty. Do not summon the damn. Oh, I almost said it, Griffo. Don't try to trick me. I found out how people smelled like good barbecue due to hearing the info from someone who did cremation. Well, I smelled that, and I don't remember the smell. I just remember the smell of smoke, general smell of burning. When I came across burning bodies. Okay. If I were to choose what were monster I would be, I'll be... Okay, so let's start. Thank you, Balvin HD, for getting us back on topic. You rock. I love you. Who are you? It looks like it's the first time you're here. Balvin HD, welcome to the Monstercast. Awesome to have you. So, let's start. I'm going to work our way, I think, downward. So, OCD, you better get ready, because I'll be calling you out first when I get to it. We'll be going from OCD down to the bottom, talking about everybody's form of choice. And let me clarify that real quick. So form of choice, we'll be talking about, because me and Pro this was Pro's suggestion, right? Pooping out potatoes, pretty much. We decided, I was kind of thinking, because it'd be funner to hear the animal of choice that you would choose, because it'd be kind of too easy to go with a monster. But we can throw those in too, but let's be more focused on what animal you would choose to be rather than the monster. You can include those too. Again, everything's fine. But let's just make that more of the key. What animal. That said, let's go back to Balvin HD over on YouTube, and he or she said, unless it's somebody that changed their mind, I'm from Serbia. Well, welcome. I hope you're doing all right over there. Glad to hear we have someone from the other side. Okay, do not summon... Oh, if I were to choose what monster I would be, I'll be a dinosaur of some kind. See, that's a good answer, because it's still a animal, although it's extinct. But there's so many different kinds. You have to be more specific on that one, but that's a really good answer. Ooh, that's really good. I didn't even think of dinosaurs, although I didn't think about the topic too much. I've been busy.
Out of curiosity, does the creature have to be a creature that has for sure existed or does exist?
No. Let's say no. I mean, yes, it can have existed at any point. So extinct will do.
Like, what I'm asking is were-dragon on the table?
Well, that's what I was saying. We're monsters.
Fancy.
It's allowed, but I want to steer more toward were real creatures, living or dead. Because I think that's more of a challenge personally, because it's so easy to say were dragon or were manticore. I think that it would make it too obvious maybe. But if you want to share that, please do, because I'd love to hear what were monster you would choose as well. But yeah, let's try to focus more on animals, but if you can't really think of one, monster's fine. Just tell us why. All right. Continuing. Okay, so we're dinosaur. Louis said, okay, from the Monstercast, I bring in Demona from Disney's Gargoyles. Not Gargamels. Disney's Gargoyles. She was born a gargoyle, but got involved in a ritual curse that made her and a human live forever, but in the day she would transform into a human. Okay, so she is a gargoyle that would transform into a human. Cool, so kind of that backward deal. Okay. Haven't thought about the backward transformations too. So interesting. That is right, Louis, and also her soul was linked to Macbeth. Both of them turn immortals. I am from Syria, yes. And hello, Alvin. Okay, so you guys heard it. So the first suggestion was by, or the second one was by Louis, and that's a gargoyle that turns into a human. When was that? During the day. That's very convenient, isn't it? Or is it backwards then? Do they become so used to being a human at that point?
They turn into a human. They take a human form during the day, and then at night they turn into a gargoyle instead of turning to stone during the day.
Oh, gotcha. Instead of turning to stone. Oh,
You know, like the other gargoyles do in this series.
yeah. That's quite beneficial, though, comparing to the others. I'm just wondering which one you'd get more used to. Would you get more used to being a human and then you'd say, well, during the night I turn into a gargoyle? Or would you be used to being a gargoyle and you would say, well, during the day I turn into a human? Because it's 50-50. We're not talking about a full moon where it's every once in a while. This is every night.
That's an interesting question. That is an interesting question.
It is what you would get more used to. I mean, they start off as a gargoyle, sure, but I think the society is a lot more complex in the human world, so maybe they get so involved that they would become used to more being human. Yes, Louis, I love gargoyles. Cool. And I know we've got gargoyle fans here. We've mentioned them before. The TV show, that is. Okay, I do have a share by Chris. I'll share it if I see there's a prolonged sound of silence. But I hear noise, and I hear noise from a cat. I hear a very busy OCD out there. I think she's ready, folks. She's been making a lot of tapping, scratching noises. Let's hear what word form she would choose if she could. If she has one for us. So, OCD, take it away.
Pulling it into the canvas. Not the canvas paper.
Yes. You would turn into a canvas paper. Got
No.
it.
It's gonna take a while to post because the internet is slow. It's coming.
Oh, so you're drawing it, what you were talking about?
Yeah, just a sketch.
Okay, cool. So we got a nice presentation. Do you want me to move on to the next person? I'll come back to you.
Oh no, it won't take long at all. Any moment now. Any moment, it's gonna post.
Okay, let's see
Any
what it
second.
is. Make sure you post it to the right
Do it like.
cavern.
I'll put it in main voice cab. Just for the time.
Do you think if one would eat you, would you taste like bacon?
Huh?
Do you think if one would eat you, you would taste like bacon in this form?
Yeah.
There
I
we go.
imagine. Well,
Deep
it wouldn't
questions.
taste like bacon in that form.
Deep questions by Arthur.
He would probably
Cadella.
taste like.
Tastes like what?
Well, if you're a were creature,
It probably tastes like bacon.
if you're a were creature, and you get killed, most of the time, don't you turn back to your human form? Or do you stay in your were form?
Well, that's what I was thinking. If
Depends
we're
on the
talking about we're creatures, we're
Here it
talking about
goes.
ourselves in our form as we are, as we look right now, turning into whatever form we choose. You know, that was the kind of the thing here, the challenge. Okay, let's see what OCD posted. We're gonna try to figure out. Okay, I gotta guess. I'm not gonna say it. Don't give it away yet, OCD.
Oh, I already did.
Oh, you already did. Oh, it's right there. We're Shrek.
Wait.
Well,
Where's
Shrek. It's
Not
Shrek.
where's Shrek?
And it looks like a
Yeah,
very
where's Shrek?
specific kind. For those of you that haven't seen what she posted, can you guess what this is? What's her word form? I think this
Didn't we
would.
just say it though?
Yeah, you can. Go ahead. I think that would be Jonos. I wonder what Jonos would be. I wonder if it would be a manatee. That would be a funny word form. Floppy. Okay, laugh a lot. I love gargoyles. I am okay. So Balvin is male. That has been conferred by Balvin himself. In One Piece, do I know you, Balvin? Because oh, do you have a YouTube channel? If you do, maybe I know you from before. If not, let me know. In One Piece, ex Drake and had a devil fruit of some type of dinosaur powers. You guys are using a lot of big words that are hard to read on a quick glancing on YouTube. Hello, everyone. Cool. Mark Peters is here. We can all relax. Welcome, Mark. Okay. Yes, that's what I was thinking, Pro. I think we're on the same page. Is Pro right, Curtis Cat?
Well, it's really more just a generic shark thing with a human
Right.
face slapped inside of it. But yeah, Goblin Shark's a good one.
It's usually that monstrous looking one that people use, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Because
That's
it
good
looks
for a
human.
watermelon.
That's why the Goblin Shark's kind of scary. It has kind of a humanoid almost.
Mm-hmm. So first of all, Super OCD, also known as
Yeah.
Curtis Cat, gains a
Yeah.
watermelon because she actually made an illustration for us of her were form. She did it quick, but
Yeah.
she did it nonetheless.
I'm gonna finish it as well.
So here it is, folks. A were shark definitely has the appearance of a somewhat of a goblin shark, not necessarily because goblin sharks have that long discs, but all sharks or a lot of sharks have that pointy nose kind of ridge looking area. It's not a nose, right? But it looks like a nose ridge. Snout kind of, yeah. Portion that
Shark.
goes forward. That's a very shark thing, and that's a very cool shark thing, and very, in a way, elegant. So yeah, it can definitely be any shark form, not necessarily goblin here. But if that disc is more prolonged and prominent, then for sure you could see the goblin shark features. So goblin shark. Okay, so the other question Pro did put in Super City is why.
Well, sharks are like one of the top predators in the sea, and humans are kind of like the top predator on land, really, because we're killing everything all the time. So I just thought, why not just smoosh them together, make an abomination? That's my only reasoning.
Plus, I'm sure you can breathe underwater when you're in this form.
And that.
I've said it before. I always say it. I do love the idea of a amphibious type creature transformation because I love the concept of just being able to freely go into the depths of water. I mean, imagine if you could do that and safely, especially if this is your form, unless you're dealing with orcas, in other words, killer whales. I go to sleep. See you, Darth. Imagine how wonderful that would be, especially if you're just fed up or you're stressed out with work or life or depressed. Jump into a big lake and just start swimming deep under, explore the whole world under there. What a distraction. What a wonderful thing that would be. A whole living meditation of itself.
Well, if you have human level intelligence in this form, you could. Sorry, it looks like you still have some kind of like hands or appendages. You could bring some kind of weapon with you in the sea to kill the orca if it attacks you.
True.
I'd say it's more feral.
Okay, so you'd be a more feral kind of like a werewolf, just a were shark.
Yeah.
That's freaky. That's
Think of
actually
the
that's cool to hear because a lot of the
creature.
were sharks that we see, they look sort of pretty conscious. But the idea of a really feral, crazy one like a werewolf, but in were shark, that is a cool
Jaws.
concept. We need that in the movie. Totally crazed. Yeah, very cool. Moving onward. Wait, you changed the topic. So, Louis, that's how I took the topic. If you want, Louis, you don't have to send it on, just share it as you did this one. If you have some ideas, then, Louis, share where creature you would want to be. I'm talking now. In your form. Because that was it, right? Pro, unless I'm mistranslating this. Pro's playing Vegas. Son of a... Nobody's listening. Pro... that's what my thoughts were, at least, that we're talking about our form, because that was the title, your form of choice. So if we're saying your form of choice, your form currently, what would you want to turn to at night? And why? Yeah. My were form, Raincrawler said, will be an aquatic human hybrid. Okay? Again, aquatic. with this, I will have the ability to explore the deepest part of the sea. See, that's what I'm talking about. So he didn't say clearly what counterpart, but he said aquatic form. So probably, again, some shark or fish, but it also could be amphibian-like, like a frog, reptilian-like sea turtles and sea snakes. Although they still breathe, right? Above seawater. What else? What was I thinking? Octopi, all that. Yeah, there's a lot of things that it could be if you say aquatic self. But in the end, you just think of Abe Sapien, right? From Hellboy. So that's your word form. That's cool because it's not crazed. It's all a matter of how crazed you would be. Cool. Okay, let's continue. So we got water forms going strong right now. Hopefully we don't see any baby heads coming up next. We're done with that theme for now.
Where, baby?
Yeah, we're baby head.
Hey, I said it first.
She copyrighted it. My eyesight will be sharper, Raincrawler said. I will be able to stand the pressure of the sea, increasing my... Ooh, good point. Increasing my strength. So because he will be able to stand the pressure of the ocean, imagine that when he comes back upon the ground. Maybe his hearing would be distorted, though, since the ears have to handle that pressure as well when he does come back onto land. But imagine how powerful he could be, how muscular, how much just sheer muscle to be able to withstand all that. What a powerful creature it could be in. Human hybrid like the Tiger Sharks animated series. Relax, OCD. Relax over there. The Tiger Sharks animated series. My favorite was the dolphin. Interesting. I'd like to see what the dolphin looked like. If anybody can post that real quick, the dolphin of the Tiger Sharks animated series. The word dolphin. Word dolphin. What a cool one. Let's go on. I'm just imagining a blobfish, right? I was kind of thinking that, Phoenix, when I thought of the octopus. Blobfish, I believe it's that picture that's pretty viral on the internet, that fish that has a very humanoid face, like blobby human face. It's not a real nose either, it just really looks like that, but it's a real fish. So yeah, a were blobfish. What a curse. Quick question, how do you guys think who would win in a were crocodile or a were shark? Okay guys, quick question. Answer below or anywhere. Were crocodile, were shark? Quick answers. What do you think?
I'll get them.
I would say it depends on the environment. If we're talking deep waters, I'd give it to the were shark. I'm a big guy, so I would be a were elephant. Were shark would... Were elephants are awesome. I love the concept. Again, I love the concept of any were animal. Were shark would win. Louis says were shark would win. Well, being a blobfish... God damn it, Griffo. Keep going on that. I mean, gods damn it. Here we say gods damn it. Just because it's monsterhood. Okay. Well, being a blobfish can't be so bad. You get to see how the deep depths of the ocean are. Well, yeah, you got that advantage again until you get eaten by something bigger. Nice.
Again,
Some people get
bring
offended.
weapons with you. I mean, there are, like, if you can't use, ranged weapons, you could use melee.
True. All depending on how conscious you are, right? Unless you're a crazed, very feral one, like OCD was saying, then yeah, you always have that option of bringing tools and weapons. Gear. I think it technically depends on the deep water is and who bites first. Yep. Yeah, I think that's a good assumption. Okay, sharks can... Okay, let me catch up with you guys. I gotta sleep. Bye. I wonder if Darth had anything to share. Let me know, guys, if you know of something that I don't. Sharks can sense electricity in water. Really? We're crocodile. We're shark. We're 50-50. Depends. Can't decide. Depends on the type of... Yeah, depends on the type of crocodile and shark. I think that's another good analysis point. Depends on the environment and the types. Croc, because the battle would be on land for all to see. Nice. And Crocs are fast. Depends. Okay, depends on. Okay. I think technically, if at the same size, I will go with a shark. Okay. They do have a different attack style too, and I think the shark one is a more careful one because of what they're used to in their environment and the other creatures they're used to dealing. I think sharks have a less maybe scary looking attack, but they have a more tactical one, like piranhas. They come in, bite, move away. Come in, bite, move away. They're very quick. They're very careful. It's like a quality boxer. It's like watching Mayweather in the day boxing. He was very good at avoiding hits. That's why he was a very technical based boxer. He wouldn't get knockouts, but he'd get those points because he's very good at avoiding, and that's what sharks are. Crocodiles are, hook onto something, spin. They're different. They don't attack things that are always underwater. They attack things that are above water often as well, which is a different attack style. So, interesting topic. Let's move on. Thank you, OCD, for sharing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lou,
Thanks,
for
OCD.
sharing.
We don't hear that much from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
We don't even have to do moments of silence for her today because she is taken over. Oh yeah, and the were-elephant. Were-elephant. Tell us why, guys. When you tell us your answer, tell us why as well. Crocodile would win because it's stronger armor. True, crocodile would have the stronger armor. Probably be stronger. Yep, maybe. Okay. Moving on to Dande. The good one, I hope. Who knows who's behind the mic today?
For today, I was gonna go with the with a were tiger, but I decided because people were suggesting like fishes to go see like the bottom depths of the ocean, that maybe I like some sort of werehawk would be a good decision, so you can fly some places and pick up people. I don't know.
That might be interesting.
Pick them up to transport them, right, Dande? Because you're good, right? You would have no other reason to pick them up for.
Yeah. Take them to places and leave them there.
So, yeah, I'm surprised nobody that wasn't mentioned earlier. Because when I was thinking about it, like often when you bring up the question to people, what animal would you be if you could choose any? Oftentimes, one of the answers is like a bird of prey. Just because they seem like an ultimate creature, right? To many. So I was expecting more of that here too. I love the water concept, but the air concept is another one that finally Dande hit upon, is going into the air. And what other benefits that would physically bring to having a body like that. Dande, what do you think if you had this were form? How are you picturing it? Like, would it be very feral? What would you look like? Would it be a mess? Physically?
Probably some sort of large predatorial bird that flies around. And probably, because I think hawks are carnivorous, right? So they
Right.
probably attack smaller animals and eat them.
Would you have hands still? Or would they be wings? Completely, or half-half, kind of hybrid? Like bats?
I don't know. Probably could be some sort of hybrid.
Yeah.
Because I think if it was like all four limbs there and wings, it would look like something else, like some other sort of creature, like a griffin.
Right. We don't want to dissuade too far from the main concept here, but we want to make it our ultimate, right? That's kind of our goal today, is we're talking about our preferred were form, and because of, we want to make it the perfect thing, right? So yeah, we would want the hands, but we can't stray too far from what the concept initially is. So yeah, good point there. Cool. I think you just gave me a good idea for mine, Dande, because I didn't decide on anything. I didn't know if I would, but I knew after I heard all you guys talk, I would probably jump to some kind of conclusion, maybe. So thank you, Dande. What do you guys think about that? Let's see. For me personally, okay, so I'll get to Phoenix. Oh, Phoenix finally joined the Discord. Crap, she's everywhere, guys. Watch your backs. Watch your backs. The Griffo is about. Okay, killer. Okay, flying will. Raincrawler said flying will take a lot of energy. Every time you attack, you will have to eat your prey, or not waste the energy. Yeah, you gotta think about the energy. And it would, but then again, it depends how much you would really have to expand. What would your body be like? Would your bones become hollow in that transformation? All that stuff would go into factor. The bird's anatomy is even more different. I don't know if than fish to us, but it's pretty different. All right, Griffo. Where's your post, Griffo? I saw it. Stop screwing about. I know you're there. I know you're square. Hey, no sniffling, OCD.
Sorry, but coronavirus.
Fly
That's a terrible joke.
right through. Maybe one day I could fly with you. Aw. Fly on, ride through. Maybe one day I can fly with you. Aw, see? There's JMPF. I think were birds would be horrifying. That's what I was thinking
Just imagine
too.
their teeth turning into the beak.
Right, teeth. Yeah, look at that drawing she did. That's actually pretty awesome.
'Cause it would have to come from
horror-wise.
like the human form. You'd have to sort of
That's what I
process
was.
the teeth into it.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too. Is what a were hybrid with a bird form. That again, that seems more complex and more of a challenge to present. All these other were forms are pretty easy to present, but because a bird already stands upright, because everything else we just put kind of upright and change legs to arms, and it's a were form. But birds are different. They're already upright. They don't have four legs. It's a bit more complicated. So back to Donde real quick. Donde, what would your head look like? In your quick imagination, would it be more beak form or lose the beak? Toothed beak, kind of like an owlbear. What say you, Donde? If you really are Donde.
Oh, I was looking for the image. I guess it would look something similar towards like that. How the one guy looks like in Beetlejuice, where he elongates and narrows his head, because it would have to be narrow for it to be aerodynamic.
In the movie, right? I'm trying to remember what you're speaking of. Cool.
Alec Baldwin's character.
Oh, when he stretches out the face? Is that what you're talking about? I think that's what he's. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's
that's what I'm talking about.
Cool,
I'm
yeah.
gonna see if I can get it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Throw it up once you get it. So that's again pretty creepy. It's not really a beak, but it's really not a beak either. So yeah, I could see that. Okay, let's move along. So that was Donde, Curtis Cat. Let's give Gargamel his chance. Thank you for waiting patiently, Gargamel. What would be your were form of choice, and why?
I don't really think I have one because I'm perfectly satisfied as a human being. If I could be like a stronger, human being, I would like to, stronger one and with slightly better senses, I'd like to be that. I don't really have a way form of choice, but I do think there would be one that I would like you guys to maybe think about, only because of how strange it would be, and that is, get this, a rare chipmunk.
Okay.
Actually, the teeth would be horrifying.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, see if you can try that, Super OCD.
Sure.
Rare chipmunks.
That'll be interesting.
A tricky one. I think it'd be kind of cool aesthetically. Again, it depends if the mass is translating logically or if the mass is changing.
Well, you could be a giant rare chipmunk, like the
Right.
size of a man.
Chipmunks have those cool stripes, so aesthetically it could be pretty cool. It'd be pretty fast. Ooh, it could
Yeah,
be
it
very
would be probably.
Donde-ish. I believe Donde is that rabbit ninja guy, right? Or I might be mistaken. But a word chipmunk. Yeah, I'm going away from the idea of the chipmunks cartoon movie.
People's peanuts and cashews and acorns will start to go disappearing.
Right.
Yeah. Redacted suggested a were-gorilla. That would be
Ooh.
even more difficult to do because gorilla's already somewhat human-looking.
Right. That's
I
an
like
interesting
like
one.
early human.
So, Gargamel,
Kind of, I guess.
Louis asked if you would be the same size or would you shrink?
For my were-chipmunk, I imagine would be actually probably bigger.
right. So you're looking at the more realistic end of it.
Yeah. Still not that realistic because I have to shrink down again when I get human.
Yeah. So for the abilities and benefits, I would think dexterity, right? Agility would be one of the best benefits. Fast, very fast. Reaction speeds would be great. Have those big black eyes. Just perception. Again, it would be larger, and those creatures have really sensitive perception because they are so tiny too. Their heartbeats so much faster than ours. If it would be larger, that heartbeat wouldn't be beating quite as fast, probably because of its size. Therefore, the perceptions could be lowered. But if that would all translate more comparatively, that the heart still would be beating crazy. Imagine a giant squirrel being with a fast beating heart, all that energy synced in and those heightened senses. That would be pretty intense. So that's the question there. The scariest thing about... Okay. And Gargamel, why did you think that would be a good one to discuss? And I haven't been hearing you lately, Bago, but we'll get to your turn too, so we'll see what's up with your mic. And Gargamel, why did you choose that one? Bird. Okay, so not sure if Gargamel's hearing me, but
Hold on, guys. I'm sorry about that. I was distracted there for a moment. I only picked the were-chipmunk because I thought it would be interesting. I don't really want to be any like thing other than what I am right now.
gotcha.
So
And
The
remember,
word
guys,
chipmunk sounds like it could be like a fun horror comedy type of movie.
yeah, it could be.
Horrible looking giant.
You're getting your head like bitten up by this giant buck tooth.
Yeah, and then people start to notice
Yeah,
that
this can-
their nuts and acorns and cashews are all gone missing. It would be
Right.
sponsored by Mr. Peanut.
And remember, guys, if we have a
Remember,
question
it's
like
half human.
this that kind of refers to you and you don't see yourself anywhere in that question, just consider the question different. So if I ask you what word form would you choose to be and you say I wouldn't want to be anything, my backup question would be, of course, if you were forced to choose a form, it's a life or death, which form would you choose then? So basically, we're looking for some answer in that way. Balvin joined us on voice, so welcome, Balvin. By the way, Balvin, I don't know, I think you're new to the Discord. Our text chat is the top one in the text cavern. It's called Main Voice Cavern. I move this one to the top every time we do these live chats. And so you can talk to us through text chat right there. You will see where we're all at. Again, it's the Main Voice Cavern. Text cavern. Okay, moving onward. Griffo said the scariest thing for me about where bird is all that bird do it'd make on the cars. Yes, big doo doo. There goes Donde, everybody. Splat. The way I am sorry, Donde. The way I imagine this sort of like D&D where they can take a hybrid or truly animal form. Oh, okay, so you're imagining going... Oh, okay, so you're saying over there you can do either hybrid form or truly animal form. I think overall what we're talking about today, and I think that was Pro's hope was the hybrid forms, right? Or maybe it wasn't. I guess it depends on your answer. Your answer could involve the hybrid. So far, we've been talking only hybrids, but it could also be the actual just animal form. So changing into an eagle. The question is also, how often can you do that? Do you change into an eagle at night or an owl at night? Truly being a night owl? There's Dande's post from Beetlejuice, which, like I said, was creepy, and it's a really cool answer to the question, actually, because I just thought of like a person with a beak or something, because that's usually what you see in games with avian creature, humanoid creatures. But Dande posted this one from Beetlejuice. He had this in mind, possibly. So it's just a stretched out face. Maybe there's a beak underneath the skin a little bit. That's toothed as well. And many toothed. I love how in Beetlejuice they didn't just stretch out the face, but the face had more teeth as well. That was an awesome moment. Beetlejuice is an awesome movie. I love it. I think they might redo it or something. I don't know. I just hope if they do it, I don't know. We all know. We'd hope. So yeah, cool answer on that, Donde. Didn't even think of that. You could go with, and Were Gorilla that's a pretty awesome one. I like that because it's maybe the closest one here to staying human, but getting extra strength. You know, just going Were Gorilla.
I'm a draw that.
Yes, OCD, you will. So. Oh, cool. So OCD will draw that. Okay, I thought she was talking.
See my word, chipmunk?
I'm getting to it.
Balvin, I think his name is Balvin, suggested a whale spider would be really terrible.
Yeah, and we do see that in games sometimes, from time to time, something like that, right? Of course, game designers are going to use spiders because people are freaked out by them, so they'll combine them with different forms, as we've seen with the babies and the humanoids. I believe there was probably more than one in Diablo, or the Diablo series.
It's a good thing Z isn't here right now, because he's not very fond of spiders.
True, but neither is Pro. And this is Pro's topic. Getting a taste of his own medicine. Imagine Hummingbird. We're Hummingbird. That'd be cute. Bog. You'd have to eat so much. Yeah, that's the thing we have to consider too. I think I'll make a video on this on the channel. About becoming a Were creature and everything you should consider. That's a good idea. I'm gonna note that down. Along with my Violator versus Pennywise.
Well, I did think of something about the were spider. You said it would be painful. Someone said it would be painful, bone-splitting limb. The thing is, spiders don't have an internal skeleton, so they're actually they'd be more different between us than us and fish or birds.
Yes.
Because they're arachnids, and they are not what do we call it? They're not vertebrates.
It would be a very extreme transformation. Very
Yeah,
impossible, or quite impossible. But you could imagine your bones inverting themselves, so your bones stretching out and finally inverting themselves to surround your flesh. So going from the inside out. With werewolves, that's not necessarily happening. Your bones are just stretching out, your muscles are stretching out, all that stuff, which is crazy already. But with an exoskeleton creature, unless some skeleton grows on top and your bone dissolves, I could imagine that the bone would distort and start surrounding the flesh, and that's pretty insane. And I could imagine
it's also really terrifying too.
Yeah, I'd imagine
that'd be a really terrifying transformation.
If a heavy transformation like that would be happening, I would probably recommend, if you guys create something in your lore like this, the use of a cocoon, because that's what that would be the best for. Because it's such an insane transformation, so many things going on that you would just be a mess physically. You'd be totally exposed. What's the other word? Not protected. I forget that.
Well, if you show the actual metamorphosis, that in a way is that in a way, it might be more terrifying if you don't. It might be creepy if you don't show, because you could imagine the changes that it would go through. But then, if you actually show it in a way, it could be more terrifying and more horrific.
Yeah.
For like a horror movie.
So, yeah. It did suggest the cocoon thing because realistically, cocoons are there for that major transformation between a caterpillar, which has no exoskeleton, and a butterfly that does to happen. It's such different anatomy, and the cocoon helps that happen with all its complexity, but the cocoon protects it. So powerful cocoon would help in this process. Cool. This is what I was looking for. Us discussing further than just cheap shout outs at cool creatures, right, Pro? So let me see here. Imagine if it drank blood, you'd probably feel like you're either on speed or the world looks too slow as a hummingbird. Right, Griffo, but that all depends how big you are, because the bigger you are, the more slowed down your senses get as your heart beats slower. If it keeps beating that crazy speed, you would have to consume a lot. I mean, a person of our size would have to consume more than a creature as big as an elephant if our heart was beating that fast at our size. That's something to consider. Chipmunk Gargamel would have only one frontal incisors. Right. So Gargamel, what JMPF said, if Gargamel was a chipmunk, word chipmunk, he would just have one tooth incisor in the front instead of the two. Because of Gargamel. Good point. Okay, what did she draw there? All your words are creepy, Super OCD, so thank you.
I think she drew a
I like
werewolf
focusing
because
the
someone suggested that would be the most human-like.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the one under what... Okay, so that's the chipmunk one.
The one under it was also a chipmunk one, but I put a little extra on. Only a little bit extra.
It's so ugly. It's got the big cheeks,
I
too.
know.
Awesome. Man,
Thought my
OCD
werewolf
making all
wouldn't
those
have any fur.
creatives. Yeah, she deserves all the watermelons today. She's
Yay.
outdoing herself. She's not just using the typewriter, she is using the tablet today. Yeah, I
Well,
think
just using my pencil.
we're Spider. We got the new member here. We're going to have to remove this. You guys
Okay,
can
yeah, Spider now.
greet the new member into our introduction section later or now. Oh, you're approaching me? Pro, are you listening to us? You are listening, right? You hear us? Wait, Pro isn't here. Pro isn't here. I just
He left the
realized
chat.
he's not. Son of a... Okay. Yeah, he's working on this mod. Okay, yikes. Imagine... Okay, let me catch up, man. OCD making... Yeah, I think worst Spider would be the worst. So yeah, continuing from there, would be painful, bone splitting, yeah, to form limbs. Yikes. Imagine being approached by a worst spider.
I want to see OCD try to draw that.
I am drawing it.
I'm imagining worst spiders sort of like... Well, we have the ones in mythology of Japanese mythology. I think there's one too. In Native American mythology, there is one. So there's quite a bit of human spider kind of hybrids out there, not necessarily spider. What if you could be a worst spider though? Like, you go from human to full spider form. I mean, that'd be pretty awesome too. Considering, let's say you're a bit bigger than a regular spider. But imagine what you could do, where you could go. What crazy things, I mean, your perceptions would experience. With all the 8 eyes that you would have on your head. Hunting, forming a web and how you would use it to catch something, to catch a dog or a coyote to feed on. The things you would just learn. What a meditation. All these things, guys, are, I think, meditation is proven to be a very useful, beneficial thing. I enjoy, and I was going to mention this earlier with the aquatic words, I enjoy a certain meditation even where I explore underwater, as a way of calming myself down. It's just a way of working with your brain, right? Your brain is a muscle. It's a complicated thing like a video game. You master it, you play with it, and meditations are a way of doing it. These ways of meditating, of transforming into a creature, almost a shamanistic approach, is a very interesting meditation and a very beneficial one. And I'm not saying if you're just looking to create some monster or write a book related to the thing. I'm talking about stress relieving. I'm talking about just practicing your mind for older folks. Meditation is beneficial in many ways, and I think turning into an animal meditation is a wonderful one for anyone to explore. So there's our deep end stuff. Let's see. Very painful. Oh, you're approaching me? Can I help? No, you're good, Boggo. You're good for now. We'll get to you. We're passing Gargamel now. You wouldn't be happy today. Who is the imposter? Joseph. Oh, damn. Finally. I was thinking about the other Joseph. And now he came up and he noticed our new Joseph. And he's using his agent disguise ability. Also, I'm back from after. What a time to come back for Joseph. Or Yosef, as I would call him. As this is the first time that JMPF used the name Joseph, and now he changed it to Joe. Awesome. Okay. Well, welcome back to Yosef. I can call you Yosef, and I can call JMPF Joseph if you want JMPF, if you want to keep the name. So if somebody became a were spider, would the bones go inside out? Right, that's what I was talking about. Or maybe the bones just thicken and thicken, and the flesh around it dissolves, and as the bones thicken, the guts and everything gets formed within the bones out of the bone marrow. So there's also that way too. That's probably less drastic and dramatic than our other thoughts, Nonetheless, it'd be very dramatic. Possibly. Strong armor. His theme. Ooh, look at that. A worm mammoth, guys. Or a human mammoth hybrid thing. That is a beautiful artwork. There you go, Louis. This is you in prehistoric times. Gosh, that's gorgeous. Imagine the things you could do with your trunks, the ornamentation, the kind of jewelry they would be selling if there was a society of creatures like so. Your word for more voice. Thank you, Jam. Okay, not the picture, but I wanted to share it. I am boring then. Okay, you're boring. Because he's using the word bored wrong. But a lot of students of English in the past when I was teaching, they would say, "Teacher, I'm boring." And I'd be like, "Well, that sucks. You should probably do something to make yourself more interesting." Because they would use the word boring in the wrong way. Instead of saying I'm bored, they would say I'm boring. It's a common mistake, I think, with the word boring. Moving onward. So Curtis, so Super OCD posted the word gorilla right there. Cool. It's a little bit more lean, so it'd be more apish almost. But I like how she added the long, like fur or hair on the back, on the head still. Maybe it would have a mane. Cool.
It's pretty much naked except for that.
Mm-hmm.
Give it more of a human look.
Muscular, intense. Remember, guys, talking about, how I was mentioning the heartbeat and size. Look at gorillas. Their attacks are very brief. Bears, they can go on for a little while, but they're brief. They put a lot of intensity in it. It's powerful and strong. They're more powerful than us, right? But they're brief because they can only do so much with that level of energy. If they did that all the time, their heart would have to work harder, faster. They would have to consume much more. And animals of that size just don't on our planet because of their restrictions. That's what makes dinosaurs so fascinating, and not the prehistoric times is that everything was so much bigger, and you just wonder at that time, were they bigger but comparative to creatures now? Like, was everything the same pace, or was everything a little bit differently balanced? So were all these large creatures more intense than they are now? They just moved faster than a large creature of comparative size would now because of the structure of our planet and everything.
Well, they also were, even in the time of the dinosaurs, a lot of small creatures, especially mammals, we would not have become the dominant, mammals would not have become the dominant life form, and humans would not even exist, most likely, if well, not most likely, but almost no chance, if dinosaurs hadn't gone extinct, because the only mammals, pretty much the dinosaurs, were like really small. Like I think the biggest one that they ever found that they coexisted with dinosaurs was like the size of like a small dog.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, I shouldn't say dinosaurs. I say the non-avian dinosaurs, because dinosaurs, technically, the birds are dinosaurs. Their ancestors, they're closely related to T-Rex and other stuff like that.
Yep.
They're about dinosaurs. The only dinosaurs that are extinct now are the non-avian dinosaurs. Avian dinosaurs, which are basically birds, are still around.
Right. Well, some, right? Some creatures like the tuatara, they've been alive. I think even during the Cretaceous period, we had the tuatara still. It's one of our old creatures that are still here. Sharks and many creatures have moved on of many of the animal families too. But yes, a lot of the reptilian ones everybody likes to talk about have passed on. So personally, I think when they were that large at that time, I remember looking at their bones last time I was at the museum, and I was thinking to myself how thick their bones were. Even a mammoth, even something comparatively sized, like relatively the same size as a creature today back then, had thicker bones. But that may be because the fossils became thicker, so I'm not sure. But from what I saw, and the mammalian prehistoric creatures, everything, they just had really thick, heavy looking bones. If that is true, that means they were more intense. They were faster, they were more energy packed, they ate more, they were just more of a extreme animal creature than we have on Earth today. If you look at the size of the bone, because that tells you a lot. So
I
that
understand paleontologists have found evidence that a lot of the not all of them, but a lot of the big non-avian dinosaurs actually did have hollow bones.
Mm-hmm. It would make sense because once again they are related. Reptiles are very related and evolved from birds, or back and forth. They're of the same.
Birds actually are the descendants of dinosaurs.
They're of the same, not family, or family. No, because a family I think
Technically,
is
birds are dinosaurs.
forgot the branching. They might be of the same family, just different. Because I'm not sure. I'd have to take a look at that again. What families are in classification, how to classify them, but they are under the same branch, reptiles and birds. So anyway, talking about that size. So it'd be crazy where we would be, in the world like that. If we were suddenly on a planet like that, in a world like that, would we be that weak compared to everything around us? Would we be very light? Would we be very heavy? All that stuff. How we would handle that. We're Gorilla OCD. Okay, moving on. Donde Caught Out Pro. Thank you for doing that, Donde. Arthur didn't notice his long lost apprentice came back. Oh, yes, I did. Welcome back, Yosef, again. The way I imagine where spider working is the bones moving to the side. By the way, I wanted to thank you, Bog, for throwing the coin today and ending up here instead of at AJ Pickett's. It's cool either way where you end up. I love that you support us both, but I just appreciate you ending up here on this Saturday. Spreading over the carapace and the nasty cracking sound, just like all forming skin and tearing out the bloated, contorting skin like it's cocoon and in of itself. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Bog, with the transformation. Could be insane. How do I use the text-to-speech bot again? So that's what Bog's asking. Don't overuse it, though. It gets annoying fast. If any of us became worse spiders, Pro would whip out the flamethrower. And what's his name? Chris would have the shotgun. And C would bring out the robot army. Although if I were worse spider, could eat, game, and draw all at the same time. Yes, consider that, guys. You'd have more limbs. Imagine that. I always say like, or sometimes in sarcasm, I tell my wife, if only I had one more arm or two more arms, but one more arm. With one more
Well,
arm, can you
where
imagine what you could do?
well, I don't think you necessarily have to bring out the flamethrower or an army of robots to defeat a were spider. Just get the raid. Get lots of raid.
True. But that would be hell to it.
No, no, it's a poison.
It'd be worse than
It's to have
salt on a
really
snail.
dead poison. It's meant to kill insects
Yep.
and others like small creatures. Get enough of it though, you would kill a human. So I think it would work on a were spider.
True, true. Thank you for that were spider work. She made it very spiderish. Imagine a were spider like Super OCD drew, but instead of like black and shiny or furry, just human fleshy like, with all the ugly parts or the scary parts of a spider's face. But then at the end of the limbs, instead of having the spider limb ends, it would have hands.
That's how I try to draw it. 'Cause I like
Yeah.
keeping them very humany. I like to keep as much human as
Mm-hmm.
possible. Just like instead of being like a how you design a furry or an anthropomorphized animal. It's different. It's more. It has the human in it. Like
Yes. We just
you can
do.
look at it and have at a glance you can see it came from a human because it's got a humany skin. It's
Mm-hmm.
on a bare skin's kind of unique to a human, and it's a pretty good way of what's the word? Telling them apart from like just a regular anthropomorphized wereman or beast man, you know?
Yep. Right on. So I was
That
getting
was
that
kind of a
right from
ramble,
you.
I'm sorry.
So cool, because that's what I kind of picked up from it, and I was hoping you did. So yeah, you did that. And it's more like almost body horror ish if we're looking at those monsters. I like that you keep adding the hair, to kind of keep reminding us, hey, still we're human. Because you're not working
I
with
like
the
to take
colors, so
parts
it's
from
hard to
human.
present, of course. Plus, there's
Yeah.
sketches. Cool.
Have myself some water.
I am fine, Joseph. Sweet. First monster cast of this year. Cool, Joseph. Congrats. I read a series where people have spent time. Things were mammoth. Okay, back, left, front. Crocodiles are living dinos. Not quite. I think it depends on the species.
Actually, they're not. Crocodiles are they're not from the same branch of the reptile family tree as dinosaurs.
Well, it depends
Their
which
skull
dinosaurs.
is
I'm not.
different for one thing, and their legs are off to the side instead of being directly underneath their body.
Right.
That's something that distinguishes a dinosaur from modern day reptiles, except for birds, because birds are dinosaurs.
Well, but it's hard to say too because the term dinosaur is so general. And
I know it is general, but
Right.
from a scientific standpoint, a bird is a dinosaur because birds evolved from dinosaurs. You don't stop being, a part of your ancestry. Human beings are still, apes. We're still monkeys.
Right.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. We evolved from monkeys, therefore we're still monkeys.
All right. So, well, sort of cousins. What did Super OCD draw there? She did a were. What is that?
Yes, mate.
Super. It looks so friendly. It looks almost like a were, otter, a were river otter or
It's a were snake.
It's a were snake. Gotcha. Guys,
Wait,
movie I
that's
recommend is called Snakes. It has like 3 S's or more. That's the name of the movie, Snakes. Snakes. Or Snake. It's an older 80s movie. I love it. Check it out. You'll see people transforming into snakes. It hit me pretty hard when I was young. I sometimes I forget to mention that movie. But sweet movie. I like it too because they actually dropped off real snake knowledge in the movie, which they tend to not do in horror movies, especially pertaining to animals.
That reminds me of the Yuan-Ti from Dungeons and Dragons. Those are like snake humanoid creatures. And they're all like different variants between human and snake and bizarre combinations and bizarre ways in which Kind of hard to explain.
Good point.
Pretty scary too.
Let me see if I muted you, Bog. I might have. No, I didn't. So Bog, just leave and come back and make sure you don't have Discord open on anything else like your phone or another window. I see that you make noise. It lights up, but I just don't hear you. It's probably driving him nuts. Let me know if anybody else hears Bog or doesn't hear. Is that simple?
I hear him. He's starting to sing a bit.
Really? So you hear him? That's weird.
Yeah, I heard him. I heard him.
Oh, so that's just me. Uh-oh. Oh no, Boggo. Let me refresh real quick, guys. Let me just refresh the page. If that does anything. Okay. Everybody hear me all right?
Balvin went to the YouTube chat because his Discord froze or wasn't working properly.
Gotcha. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, still can't hear Boggo. Arthur lies. He is just ignoring. Okay, let's move onward, guys. I forgot I have a thing that Chris shared too on behalf of Chris. Let me catch up with YouTube real quick. Spider-Man became Spider-Man Spider. True. Should be Man Spider more. We're Spider's Man Spider. I was thinking the same Louis. Great minds think alike. Batman and the Man Bat animated series. Yes, he appears. Man Bat. How much less exciting, all these heroes would or characters would sound if they would be called Man Bat and Man Spider, and then another comic book artist comes out with Spider-Man and everybody draws to him and he makes millions of dollars. Yet these guys had the concept years before.
I mean, there's Kangaroo Man.
I can hear you, Boggo.
And still, you can hear me?
Where kangaroo would be a really hippity hoppity one because they like to hop more than bunnies.
Great boxers too. Nice. The mammoth is awesome.
Big boxers.
Gotcha, Balvin. Yeah, I remember this image. This is kind of like OCD's post in a way. Or drawing. Yep, thank you, Raincrawler, for sharing that. Maybe Raincrawler is a Spider-Man himself. Man Spider. No, Spider-Man. Okay.
Man Spider.
Let's move on. Here we go. Post. This is what... Ah, damn it. Let me get it from...
If a were-crocodile can't do hip-hop...
Just a second, guys. Getting...
Man, super. That's great.
Okay.
Nice day.
Bye,
Nice
Gargamel.
day.
Later's
Bye.
Gargamel.
Later.
Later, Garimel. Thanks for sharing. Okay, so I got Chris's share here. Hope everybody can hear me again, right?
Yep.
Okay. So Chris said, he sent me this privately, he said, I'd go with the were crocodile form. Shock and horror, not... he said, shock and horror, not a rat. I know. Because in addition to increased physical attributes and healing factor that were curse implies, it also gives me a thick hide that makes small arms fire just bounce off of it and offers decent protection against bigger calibers. So ultimate tank build, true. Not to mention jaws that can flatten armored vehicles. He's talking big size here. Armored vehicles and looking hella cool because crocodiles are the coolest reptiles, period. There goes Chris with his ultimate ideas. So, cool. And something didn't really cover, which was the healing factor. Obviously, to go through a transformation as these would, especially like to an arachnid, or an exoskeleton creature, you would have to have extreme healing, right? Maybe, unless the transformations take a long time. But if they are quick, like we probably want them to be, you would have extreme healing. So consider that in your abilities as well. Is Pro back with us? No, he's not. Continue. Batman, Bat, eat you. Worst spider and your babies eat you. If you're a worst spider, never look. If you're a worst spider male or worm mantis male, never look for a female of your kind. Just go human or go full mantid. Word of advice. Nice. That mammoth is awesome. The skirt stop. Okay, I'll be right back, guys. Gotta go take care of something. All right, Louis. Be the responsible man that you are. Elephant man that you are. Good movie, by the way, guys. Elephant Man. It'll hit you. It'll hit you hard. But it's a good movie.
The guy with the disorder.
What'd you say?
He's got the guy with the weird skin disorder.
Yeah, the disorder. Based on the true story and pretty close to it if you look at the true story and the looks of the real guy. Well, it's different, but pretty well done movie. In black and white, but it was newer. I think, yeah, it was a newer movie, but then in black and white, I believe. Good movie though. So basically, Super Croc, but humanoid form. Yeah, I'm thinking of the Croc guy from DC, right? DC has the Croc guy.
Killer Croc.
Killer Croc. So, there you go. I remember there was one in Ninja Turtles too. I had the toy. And damn it, it was one of those toys where the toy was made like Sauron from Marvel, the pterodactyl humanoid guy. He's so big in the cartoon.
But I don't want to cure cancer. I want to turn people into dinosaurs.
Is that what he said? Nice.
Is that what he said? God, I'd be on his side if that's true.
That's cool. So he was so big in a cartoon, but then I had the toy and he was all thin and skinny and, you know, a relative size to another action figure. He should have been like twice the height with that slim body. And they did that with the Krog guy from the Ninja Turtles. I had him too. He looked like he was an alligator and he had this Floridian style with the hat. And he was like as big as the Ninja Turtle or even smaller. Then I saw him in the cartoon and he's like, you know, like 5 Ninja Turtles big. Damn you toy creators saving funds. Distorting the sizes of these cool characters. Man Spider. There's Man Spider. Yep. Thanks, Raincrawler.
Yeah, specifically that phrase was directed towards Spider-Man when he was like, with this sort of technology, you could cure cancer if you can mess with people's genes like that.
Mm-hmm.
And their very cells, and he just goes, but I don't want to cure cancer. I want to turn people into dinosaurs, and or you could just be like, you want your cancer cured? Here, I'll turn you into a dinosaur. You have to be a dinosaur if you don't want cancer.
Well, that was pretty much what Lizard Man was like, kind of in the Spider-Man, right? Is he said, yes, we can cure all these diseases, but you have to be a reptile. You have to be a lizard. That's awesome. I don't want to cure cancer. I want to create dinosaurs. It's like an 8-year-old mind in this genius.
Yeah. Mad scientist.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, so
I believe it's my turn next.
Soon. Where Man Aqua, Man Super, Man Wonder, Man Wonder Woo. And others.
Don't forget Stilt Man. He'd become Man Stilt.
Too bad Pro's not here. I'd want to bring up Ape Man with him. Man ape form. Since he considers apes to be like the scariest, creature.
Apes are pretty scary.
Should probably have like something where we like face of disappointment towards Pro.
Wouldn't were-apes basically just be like a Sasquatch or a Yeti, though?
Right, kind of like that were gorilla we talked about.
I thought I drew.
Yeah. I just came up with a great idea for our next topic. I hope I don't forget it. Okay, moving on. JMPF. Joseph. Yes. It's your turn, JMPF. What were you thinking? What would be your word form of choice and why? Louis back. Thank the gods. JMPF is typing. So we had Chris share. Do we have anybody else other than that's listed here? Okay. Ooh, finally. Awesome. And it flies. So, very cool. So, JMPF said, my chosen Joe Perry flows around. Or flies around. I think your Joe Perry flies around, JMPF. My chosen word form would be a bat because given werewolves are too overused, next coolest thing were bats. They are scary, they fly without fear, have echolocation, and I already have the ears, canines, and elongated fingers, so the jump would be easy. I'm going to have to look at your pictures again, JMPF. But that's a good answer. That's a really good answer. I love those vampire hybrid forms. I did a video on that, actually, the best vampire monstrous forms, and that's what I was going for. So that's related to this. I think it doesn't get enough notice, right, guys? I mean, we get werewolves, all this notice and all that, but I think we're bats. Not vampires necessarily, just we're bats don't get enough
What
attention.
kind of bat are we talking here?
Mm.
Fruit bat, vampire, other bat, this
Big-eared
bat,
bats.
that bat, skinny bat.
Pig-nosed bat. I think that's
Oh,
one.
bats. Oh,
There's some weird-looking bats, too. Yeah, JMPF, which bat would you choose? Would you choose like a fruit bat? Probably because that goes more with our size, because that's the biggest type of bat. Or would you do those other ones with those weird-looking mushroom reminiscent noses? What do you say? Griffo's typing, watch out.
I think I'm torn between vampire bat and flying bat and
Flying fox.
the one you say fox.
Well, flying fox or fruit bat / vampire. Makes sense. So you can feed on both. Good answer, JM. Love it, love it. And aesthetically pleasing. Aesthetically, for me, I love it. Because I love the dark look, especially if it's going to be fleshy, meaning like us, where there's not much fur. Kind of like the Abomination. Some people like him, some people don't. In Underworld, at the end. I love the idea of having flesh like ours, but being completely black. You know, completely black. No brown or just real black. Or violet-y black.
I mean, he was more blue black than
Or blue black.
solid black.
I love Venom.
If we're thinking about the same actor.
Yeah.
Also in that series, there was a vampire that was particularly interesting because of the way
Yep.
they had his wings work.
He was,
Because they were more like just big hands
Mhm.
and stab.
Yeah, the conception and work was really awesome on that there. I think one of them was a hybrid too, and I included him on my video as well of the top. The one from Bram Stoker's Dracula, I listed him as number 1. I'm not sure. I think the top 2 there could be switched back and forth, but Bram Stoker's Dracula, awesome vampire werbat form. Fruit bat like man bat. Very true. Bats are almost always associated with vampires. Right, and it's always the vampire bat that gets all this noise, and they're not even the coolest looking ones. They're just these little pug-faced bats that are just kind of cute and little, and they just scratch.
They're little gremlin bastards.
Yeah, little gremlins that scratch little wounds and lick the blood, and it's not even that dramatic. Werebats look like cute little foxes, right? But there's other bats that have even scarier or
No, the ones that
strange
look like foxes are the flying foxes. Those are a fruit bat, one of the biggest.
Right. So there's those, and those get the attention, but then there's all these other more obscure, lesser known ones that some look really weird. There's one that has this very humanoid face. I forgot his name. But yeah, he has this different face. He doesn't have that nose that's kind of flattened. It's more dog-like, but the face is like shorter. It's more human-like. That's a pretty cool back too. Dude, movies act like werewolves are the only beasts. Meanwhile, we're cats, we're rats, we're boars, we're foxes, and all the other dope forms. Yes, and you hit on a one, Griffo, that I really like too. That does get some attention in games, which are we're boars, we're pigs. I'm a big fan of we're pigs, especially we're warthogs. We're pigs that are more feral species, such as warthogs, boars. I think those are I love those. And we have them in different, yeah. They get some attention. I think they're even in Skyrim or the Elder Scrolls, but they don't get that much attention. And I think that's a pretty wild one because
Well,
they're
Well, in Skyrim, they only have like one werebear that shows up, but they talk about other things, including even a possibility of weresharks being a thing, although they've never been proven.
yeah, it's another one.
In Skyrim, they should actually have a bunch of werebears, but
Right, no, I was talking about we're boar, we're pig, swine.
yeah, were-boars are also supposed to be in Skyrim, but they don't.
Yeah. And then we're boar, another one. Just
Pigs
to
are scary, man.
Werbore just excites me because they're omnivorous, so not full carnivorous, but because of the intensity boars have mentally, the power they have too, the stubbornness they're known for, they can scare off lions. They can be very aggressive. So imagining that, it would be very werewolfish in attitude, yet have this cool tusked appearance of a werbore. That'd be very cool. Big
I'd
upper
just
body.
like to point out that it would probably be one of the most profitable ones. You know why?
Uh-oh.
Because you could sniff out truffles yourself.
Aw. I thought you were going to hit upon some stronger pun. We need more puns today. JMPF.
I'm not a one-trick.
JMPF said he has elongated fingers. I guess he does have kind of long fingers, right? Yeah, his fingers aren't like thin long, but they're just long. If you look at the size of his palm, the size of his length of his fingers, they're a lot longer than mine. My fingers are I have a big palm, so my fingers are more akin to the size of it, but his fingers are much longer than the palm, or a bit longer. Okay, moving on. He's proving that he's a bat. Just gotta grow. Do you have claws? Not yet. Grow out those claws. Just gotta grow them out, and for those wings. Okay, if I were a werbat, I would go with one of these. I mean, come on, look at them. Like you said, Arthur, vampire bats are the least interest-looking bats. They look very similar to brown bats, a different face built for blood drinking. Yeah, they have that flattened face for, that kind of eating. Yep, that mohawk one, that's another really cool one. They have really strange ear shapes, face shapes. Bats are awesome. I always wanted one, eventually.
If anybody were to be a werebat, I'd demand that they learn how to sing the song "I'm Batty" from Ferngully Valley. The song that Robin Williams did.
From where? You said Ferngully?
Ferngully Valley or whatever. Ferngully, whatever it's
Yeah.
called. The one where Robin Williams voices. Just look up the song "I'm Batty."
Gotcha.
How do we say it?
Balvin, I just looked up Barchidias, which is a monster from a game. The word Barchidias, he mentioned, basically a bigger, stronger, more human-shaped brachy. Louis said, nice, fruit bats are cute. Yeah, they are. They're very cute. In that case, my were monster is going to attack everything I'll see. Were lionfish. Ooh, that would be beautiful. Super OCD. What an artwork that would be. Were lionfish.
As you command.
Oh boy, that's a challenge. And that is deadly to the bunch, to
It's not
the
gonna be
touch.
pretty.
Yeah, they got the spiny, poisonous spines. And the cool face. Ooh, lionfish. What an awesome creature. Moving on. Thank you, JMPF, for
Where
sharing.
pufferfish? Oh my god.
Or pufferfish. Awesome. I heard dolphins will sometimes chew on pufferfish for fun. They won't eat them, but they'll just kind of chew and play with them like a beach ball. Spit 'em out.
Well, they'll punch them around until they start leaking out their poisonous juices because they'll get a high off of them.
Right, just a little bit. It is be fun. Like somebody messes you. It's kind of like Ickes that I mentioned from All Real Monsters. Somebody messes with you and you just puff yourself up. Okay,
You'd be a curb.
then they just prick you with a needle. Bago, what is your ultimate choice?
Well, you see, my choice as far as creatures that have really existed is the biggest saltwater crocodile that ever existed. They were like 40 to 50 feet long.
Yeah.
And big saltwater crocodiles. So there's already been some really big crocodiles even now that have been discovered or had lots of reports on. Like, I forget which country it was, but they've got one crocodile that has been around for a long time that has not managed to be killed or anything that people see. And, like, it's even been shot at by people in the army in that country, and they drop grenades in the water and stuff when they saw it because it doesn't like the sound. And they even shot a RPG at it once, and they've never managed to kill it. And the people around the area have like superstitions about it being so evil that it's able to just eat the bullets and not be harmed by them. But in reality, it probably just has really thick hide. So, again, all the tankiness of being able to turn into a big crocodile with thick scales, plus the regeneration that most were creatures seem to have, plus the size, and also just the power behind them. I like crocodiles, especially the really big ones.
Me too.
I had another thing that I was going to say about that particular.
I've often imagined that one, Bago, especially when I was younger, like whenever I'd be by a lake or something, I'd imagine just how big those prehistoric crocodiles are. I mean, his eye would be as big as your computer. Just because crocodiles have big eyes too. So imagine that coming out of the water and just staring at you, this big eye with the slit pupil. I think about 6 feet long skull or head.
Yeah, and like just imagine a 50-foot saltwater crocodile. They can hold their breath for a long time. They can go a long time without eating. And honestly, if you have control over it, you could probably just normally be able to live off of a normal human's diet and then be able to change over and be just as satiated in your. It would be because I had a bunch to say about this, but I forgot some of it.
It's all good. I know you had a long time.
I was fanboying over the devil croc, as it's colloquially known in the area.
Oh yes. When you were
Because how
talking
many
about that,
animals have you heard about that have taken a shot from an RPG?
To be honest, it probably just missed.
Well, yeah, but still, there was a massive concussive blast around it, and they at least hit close to it.
What part of the
And
world were
it-
you talking about?
I forgot. It's either over around some of the countries around Egypt or in an African country. It's been a while since I've read about him.
Okay.
But as a massive frickin' crocodile, they're fast even on land. They can go a long time without eating. They have surprisingly good stealth as far as being able to go in the water and can hold their breath for a long time. So even though if I were to turn into a big ass lizard, I could make a break for water and hide in. And also, just imagine the merging of human with.
Yep.
Well, I believe the biggest one that they found was just shy of 50 feet, but I'm round. Besides, as far as where creatures are shown, they're usually shown as becoming a hybrid with the apex of the form of creature that they're a part of. Any questions or comments about it that haven't already been said? Because somebody had a very
What would you do as one of these?
not die. They live for the crocodiles live for a long time and are hard to kill, and they have again a decent. They're able to swim around in deep water and salt water and stuff. So I could go around in the ocean, dive down a lot deeper than I normally would be able to, and still.
So every time you transform, you would actually get to live longer because of how you would be in the. It would like sort of recharge you, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Right.
like there are creatures that are more known for living longer, like tortoises and stuff, but I don't want to be a were tortoise. I want to be a were fucking crocodile.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
actually
something.
wondering if someone would ask to be a were tortoise or something.
I guess that depends on the vocation you would have. I mean, if you would be a scholar working at a university or something, or a library or a museum, and you're a were tortoise, all that wisdom and age could be beneficial. Plus, we got Ninja Turtles. Look at them.
Also,
fast.
I'd just like to point out that part of the reason that I'd want to be a were crocodile is because we didn't talk about some of the repercussions of us being able to turn into these were creatures. Because there's like government agencies would probably want to study that and keep
Of
you
course.
and
Yep.
try and regulate everything. And being something that's so hard to capture and or kill would certainly make living and being able to utilize such an ability a bit more reasonable. Like in the air, they've got plenty of things to deal with that, but they don't have so many things in the ocean.
That's true. That's true.
Like
That's
if you could turn into a were bird and fly out of a jail, they could shoot you down or follow you in flying vehicles or use drones or have drop on you, etc., etc. But what are they going to do if you jump in the ocean and fuck off for several hours?
Yep.
Send a submarine after you? I'll take my chance with their torpedoes as compared to all the things that. So in short, big fuck off lizard.
Yep. That's a good point. When we're looking at this reality, is yeah, with a bird form, you think If we're talking transformations to full animal form, you can get away easier, right? As an eagle. But if you're an eagle hybrid form, yeah, you'll be hunted down pretty quick in this reality. So underwater would probably be your safest bet to hide.
I
So
mean,
good
it
point.
depends on where you go. I mean, you could certainly go to one of the places where they have lots of sightings of Mothmen or
Mhm.
similar creatures, and you could go around there as a bird form at night and not have to worry too.
Have some fun too. Alrighty.
Yeah, imagine just seeing teenagers necking in a car and then just like dropping down right in front of them and being like,
Teach those teens a lesson. Wear protection and don't reproduce before you know what you're doing. Cool. What's
I said
this?
necking. I didn't say sex.
Oh, you know where it
You
leads
know,
to.
like
Looking forward to seeing OCDs.
I already posted it.
Oh, she did. Cool. So, okay, moving on then, Bago. Very cool creature. I think I have a megalodon tooth now on my necklace. I think another good equal tooth to have in, I don't know, that level would be this prehistoric crocodile. Maybe someday I'd replace this tooth with that one, with the baby, what is it called? Sarcus, or the other one, Succus.
I just posted the name of one of the giant crocodiles.
They're all suckers. Oh, yours is different. Mechimosaurus Rex.
Well, I just posted one of the names of the giant
Right.
crocodiles. There's plenty of giant crocodiles that existed. Some of them were more based
Indeed.
on land. Some of them were more water based.
Mm-hmm. So I have been
I'm
thinking about
one of the more water based.
Cool. And I have been thinking about a Spinosaurus tooth, but I'll see. If I become a fan of some dinosaur, I'll probably maybe replace. I don't know. I'm pretty happy with Megalodon on my neck as it is, unless that shatters. I recommend anybody getting a fossil out there, just remember fossils are very brittle, so protect it with your life. Moving onward. Thank you, Bago, for sharing that. Very cool one. I'd imagine that if we're looking between the both sizes, maybe a 30-foot tall one instead of 50 to make up for the shortness of the human end. But that's still a pretty damn big creature.
I mean, to be fair, with werewolves, it doesn't. It makes a person bigger than a wolf, so it only seems
True.
So maybe around. I mean, I wouldn't mind being able to be a bit smaller as well. Just
True.
just like
Just because it's already so
adding
big,
a
right?
little bit more. Yeah. Just adding on a little bit of crocodile, like just starting to get a bit green at the skin, and sharper teeth, and then stopping at some point, like one of those. You ever read the books Animorphs? Man,
yeah, I've
those
seen
were
the
my-
covers. I never read one.
Yeah, but it would be sort of like how their faces change slowly
Right.
through the different pages
Kinda that
and
shift.
all that.
Yeah, the form shift.
Just like stopping short of full hybrid just to stay smaller. Like, oh, I'm only 10.
Gotcha. In my personal lore that I was making and planning to make a book or maybe videos, I don't know, someday, of hybrid humanoid animals, my rule was that I would make the animal size itself plus half more. So therefore, a were elephant, for example, or not a were, because these would be hybrid humanoid animals, monsters. So, for example, an elephant that measures, how long is an elephant? Maybe 12 feet? I'm sure some are. I'm not sure how much bigger they get. Let's say an elephant that's 12 feet long. If he'd become into this hybrid form, he would be 12 feet plus another 6 feet, so 1.5 its size. That was kind of my conception of the old. It's a cool way to picture it. So, like a 20-foot crocodile with tail included would turn into a 30-foot humanoid crocodile form. So that's one way.
It's pretty big. That's like actual giants.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Okay, catching up, and thank you everybody for sharing animals instead of monsters. It's cool if you share monster halves, but animal halves I think is, I don't know, funner to explore and maybe.
I mean, in the
more
after show, I'm
challenge.
gonna talk about monsters from.
Gotcha. Okay, so let me catch up on YouTube. We have like doesn't need to eat because cold-blooded SCP folks. I checked the smallest crocodile that ever lived on Earth is 1 foot and 1 inch long. That's pretty small, so 13 inches. Man, I would go to India if they would try to catch me as a were elephant. I heard elephants are sacred there. Way to go, Louis. You would be a god there. I mean, they have a god that's elephant humanoid, right? So there you have it, Louis. You would become God in the
I mean,
flesh.
he only his head is an elephant because his original head got cut off, and somebody saved him by putting an elephant.
Ah. I'd have to look into that. What if he turns in a
I know so many random facts. This makes.
crocodile? He would not need to eat this hybrid form maybe for 2 to 3 days, just transformed human to feed. Yeah, if you're a hybrid crocodile, yeah, any hybrid that you are, you don't necessarily have to eat in that form, right? You can still eat human food in human form, depending on how long your transformation goes for. True. That will be a huge advantage on Crisis. Is it possible the zombie were hybrid monster? Sure, really cool, man. Ganesha, yeah, you are Ganesha, Louis. I think. Okay, so moving on to Griffo. I was gonna call you out next, Griffo. So thanks for reminding me by going. Thank you for posting cool bats. Actually, this isn't your choice yet, Griffo. I think so. Griffo, you are welcome to share yours if you're there. Wherever you are, you're out there watching somewhere. It's your turn. She said, "Oh, and if you want to go into creepy-looking bats, I know just the ones." I went on a search now. The hammerhead. Yeah, that's one of the ones I was thinking too. The hammerhead bat just isn't all bad. And it does have a strange mouth that weirds me out. It does. It almost looks like a boar bat, right? Yeah. The wrinkled face really weirds me out. Both still very cool. I had the hammerhead bat for a character design. Oh, that is cool. That's weird. I like where you take your inspiration, Griffo. If you can find that one I mentioned, the like kind of human faced one, really weird, like this little nose and then big eyes like a bat, but the face is more flattened. Not quite as crazy a nose as these fungus looking noses. Cool. Thank you, Griffo, for sharing. Hammerhead bat, everybody.
Oh God! Imagine a
Your best friend.
That would be a strange.
I'm a were-type worm.
Would be we're humans. Okay, Curtis
I feel
Cat.
uncomfortable.
Sweet. She posted. That looks pretty good, actually. That would be awesome for an art contest to Pro CD. That's her lionfish. Or were lionfish. You can see the gills under the neck. You can see the beautiful lionfish markings. Spines and
Oh God!
fins.
I just realized
That's such a
if
cool
I could
one.
turn into a giant. If I could turn into a giant crocodile hybrid, I could go down to Egypt and call myself so.
Ooh, yeah.
Cool.
You know, the god of the river and fertility.
That's actually clever. You know, if you had this curse or something, like research where they're considered gods, move there as quick as you can, so hopefully the government and culture will protect you there. I mean, you could be living a pretty damn awesome life. So,
Or you could move just to somewhere that doesn't have too much development, like.
yeah, exactly. But more of a primitive society or culture, in a sense.
Yeah, and just have them think of you as you could just be the guardian spirit to it.
Yeah. So remember, if you guys turn into a black and white cow, get the hell out of America ASAP and go to India. Black and white cow. Got it? There you go. Okay. All right. I think there's even the cool concept art of a hybrid human and lionfish. If anybody can find that out online too, on Google, I think I've seen one in the past. Pretty cool stuff. Okay.
It was probably some sort of.
Some sort of what?
Oh, here's another fun idea. Imagine being you know why that's
Good to go. Cool. Facey bits.
vampire squids can turn themselves
Ooh.
mostly inside out. So just imagine being able to turn yourself inside out.
Griffo, I agree with your post. That's the thing. Personally, I love hybrid-looking werewolves. Agreed. But realistically, looking exactly like a real animal would be safer as you wouldn't stand out. Agreed. Thank you, Donde. Ooh, lion. We're lion. Okay, good night, guys. Yosef left. Good, I mean, not good. Good night, Yosef. I saw his mic and headphones were turned off. Okay, moving on. We're mosquitoes. I think that would be... Oh, I was going to mention, when we were talking about turning into a worse spider and all the crap, a movie I suggest on watching relating to that is, again, The Fly, the newer The Fly from the 90s, with Jeff Goldblum. We've talked about this movie again. I do recommend it as a movie to anybody. It's a great little movie. The Fly, as that kind of happens there, and flies has exoskeletons, so you can kind of see what happened there and help with that imagination. So The Fly, as far as where insects and where arachnids go. Griffo, did you say which one you would want to be? Tell us, Griffo. And I see Jono appeared here. What did Jono said? We're manatee. Well, there you have it, Donde. We're fleas. We're fleas would be
I'm doing
scary.
that right now.
Fleas are scary, powerful little creatures. We're ticks. We're ticks would be ugly. Everyone's favorite, right? What about what would look like? We're John. Or vampire squid, turn yourself inside out. What do you mean? You mentioned inside out. I don't remember you seeing that about a worse squid. Damn it, a vampire squid. I know they change color and vampire squids just look awesome, but inside out. There's a picture. Yeah, that's at the very end. VMPF, but that's The Fly. That's kind of a, not spoiler, but it's a good movie. It's not like a silly horror. It's like the realism, kind of like Interview with the Vampire is a different sort of realistic movie on the thing. So cool movies. We're lamprey. Cool. Okay, now we're just coming up with cool animals. I think we're winding down here. Let me see here. Ganesh, universe. Keep sketching stuff, Suprocity. We're liking it. Suprocity, cool, said Louis. Long werewolf, where creatures live. Probably in the middle of both lifespans. I got idea. Where flytrap, or where Venus flytrap, I'd say. I was thinking, Raincrawler says. Imagine the worst snail. Like Uzumaki. From Junji Ito. Oh, the creepy. Yep.
Oh, fuck.
That's awesome.
That was exactly what I
That's probably something Pro would have suggested.
Right. I wonder what Pro would have suggested today. We'll have to ask him next time since he's been busy. Finally, Griffo, I called you out a couple times for your final share. I'm not sure if you have one, but one more time, call out for Griffo. Call out for the eagle. He's there. She's typing. Bago said the vampire squid has 8 long arms and long curly strand that serves as a sensory filament. Unique ability to react when it's startled. They're awesome. Squids, cephalopods rock. I'll get a tattoo like that. Body turning in, sort of inside out. Okay. Gonna help avoid being attacked by predators. Right. One of those. It's like hognose snakes or other snakes that try to look dead. Twisting themselves.
Well, it doesn't try and look dead. It just looks weird and spiny.
That's
on
cool.
The inside.
It's so weird. Cephalopods are amazing, guys. I've even seen one imitate waving, a human wave, a hand wave. So cool. Whir flea. She did a whir flea. Let's check it out. So nasty. It's awesome. Oh, man. Love it. Super OCD. Look at those hands. They're so ew.
I could draw up where octopus.
Good job on it, too. I love how you made them all, like, beefed up at the top. I kind of imagine a whirlboard, too. It's just, yeah, really thick, powerful. That's awesome.
With were squids and were octopus, wouldn't they just be like a little...
Maybe.
Did you say an elithid from D&D?
Yeah, mind flayers.
Gotcha. Well, that would be the cool form. Because I was thinking cephalopod would be awesome, but then again, you have the soft flesh. You are smart. You have all the tentacles. But I could see some negatives to it, too.
So you're able to squeeze through things, but you're easily...
That's true. Whenever you need to do that. So Griffo said, okay, so just like JM, I go with the Werbat. 2. My reasons. I think you just got crazed with the Werbats, Griffo. You started looking and researching and catching those images. And you're already a Griffin Phoenix, right? But she said, my reasons. First off, I like bats. They are so varied. Agreed. They can echolocate. I'd love to see, like... Okay, I'll stop butting in. Sorry. They can elocate, so I don't need to depend completely on my eyes. Bad thing is, I would lose color vision as bats see in black and white, but oh well. Other reasons would be I could devour... And remember, the beauty, guys, of being a whir is it's temporary. We're not talking about hybrid forms. We're talking about whir. It's temporary. Losing color for a little while, I agree with Griffo. He also says, other reasons would be I could devour the despicable little bugs that annoy me. I could have a good excuse to be up at night. Can fly and creep people out from a distance. And oh yeah, and hang upside down. Hell yeah. Without getting a head rush.
Most importantly, you could impersonate...
Impersonate what?
I said, most importantly, you can impersonate...
And he always cuts off at the end. Again, that's happening with him.
You could impersonate Mothman.
I said Mothman!
Mothman,
I think
okay.
you're the only one.
It is, Bago, and I'm not teasing you. Earlier, I could hear everything from you, but then there comes a time where you start cutting off just at the end, and it's like the whole point you're making is the last word, and that's the only thing I can't hear. So, whatever Bago says, OCD, you finish his last word so I can hear everything. It's a collaboration.
Yay.
You are now hybrids of one another. A half Bago, half OCD cat. We're bastard moray. Okay, guys. I watched the movie. Cool. We're Gogmazios would be cool. Okay, I think we've talked about everything. The one I had in mind that I wanted to share real quick on my side, and then we'll talk about the next Monstercast. And here is mine. Let me get it in. This is my answer often.
What if you were a were-human?
Ew. Stop it, Bago.
before we kind of leave the subject of where forms, I'm wondering what a where tardigrade would be like, or what a where tardigrade would do. Those things like can stand almost.
Oh yeah. I was
Supra.
just thinking, what if you turned into a completely different. So you could turn into another human, or you could turn into a merging of these two humans and just be more beefy and.
We all know what John would pick.
Right. All of you, or just saying it's awesome. Whoever posted the first emoji of the shrimp under the Werfley, you rock. Whoever was the first one to do that. Super OCD. That's another challenge for you. Some fighting words. So there you go. At word tardigrade.
Okay.
Let's see it. Okay, guys, and mine.
Where pistol?
This is one I thought about when I thought of the question before in life. Hold on. Before I continue, this is Super OCD's Were Octopus. Ooh, I like it. I like what she did with the head. I wasn't even thinking about the head. And she's got the beak / jaws. I am liking that. Super OCD, you're coming up with some pretty awesome concepts. And look at the ends of her tentacles. They have little fingers or tendrils.
Fingers.
Love it. What do you think, Bago?
I like it too. I was just thinking what sorts of weapons would be best used for underwater creatures, like a spear or. And that was most of what I could get because most weapons require swing of some sort.
Yeah.
And that's not a good thing underwater. I mean, you could always have guns or harpoon.
Right. Yeah, harpoon is
Mostly
what I usually
it's
jump
just-
to first. But
yeah, mostly knives and
probably more so piercers than slicers. I could see slicers in the waters and being in salt water for prolonged times. I mean, a slicer blade, has to be very sharp. That could be difficult in underwater and how effective it would be. But a piercer, spines and needles, right? Would definitely. It's proven to be effective, obviously, but as far as shape goes. All right, awesome chats today, guys. I would like.
Also, I like how we just keep on interrupting each other.
Yeah, the delay. Go
Saw-
ahead, Bob.
Sawtoothed sharks or whatever they're called. You know the ones that have the long nose with the spiny things on.
Yep.
I like how those have actually been used to make primitive sword weapons
Right.
in the past. People semi-recently have actually been murdered in a.
Prosody.
Hmm?
Finish his sentence. Murdered in a.
Murdered with the sword tooth thing. That's
they
what
were.
Matthew's going on about. I
Yeah.
wasn't quite concentrating.
Cool. I caught you.
Yeah, that was what I.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, I think those are awesome too. I would love to own one because it's so fantasy-like. You always see these cool weapons based off of beasts and fantasy, but not much in reality. People go off of woods and metals. So I agree that one's awesome. Good shout out, Bago.
Also, the pistol shrimp, when scaled up for a human, would be surprisingly terrifying
Pistol
because
shrimp.
of the force that they can get just by closing the claw.
Can you post a picture
It
of that?
actually makes the water of a pistol.
Yes. I can't recall that one.
Let me.
And guys, all the viewers out there that are viewing all this stuff, please let me know which of Super OCD's concepts you guys like the most. Maybe if you let her
Yeah.
know, she can finish it further and start rendering it more. Or maybe we can hand it to another artist here to do a collab with, and they can color it up and stuff.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Let us know which one you like the most. Okay, so that was her word octopus. I still didn't get to mine yet. So let me read through this and I'll get to it real quick. Quetzalcoatl's twin is called. Okay, for reals, Arthur. I had gone through a bat phase as a kid, so we're bats were on the brain. Awesome, Griffo. I see why we get along so well. Still have yet to show you guys my old Anthro bat characters. Cool. I have thought of tardigrades as they are able to withstand space and intense temperatures. Would be awesome. Right, but in were form, they'd be really thick to withstand that at our size. They'd be just these fat little plump, big plump beings. Let's see what OCD came up with. Phoenix is bat phase. Batgirl. Yeah. I have to show you
Well, I tried to.
in the game I'm playing now, Phoenix, there's a Phoenix miniature, one of the big things you can hunt in it. In the tabletop game I'm playing, Kingdom Death. It's a really awesome miniature. It's the biggest miniature I own. It was a huge miniature in the box. It's awesome. And it's a twist because the whole game's twisted, and it's a twisted take on a Phoenix. If I paint it up, I'll have to show you Griffin, but I think you'd love it. I have to show you it sometime, or you can just Google it from Kingdom Death Monster, the Phoenix, and I'd love to hear your thoughts around its butthole. Basically, where its butthole is, you have a little hole with hands coming out, human hands. I told you the game's was like that. In its mouth is a human face. It's so awesome. I love it, and it's huge. It's huge. It's like my palm. Yeah. Biggest
Don't
miniature
threaten me with.
Bago, you would love it. In D&D to see this, it would be so mesmerizing.
Yeah. So I tried to send a picture, but it just showed up as a link.
Okay.
And basically, it just has one really big claw compared to the rest of it, and they can snap their claw closed so fast that it'll actually boil the water around it to a scalding temperature around that claw in specific, and it makes a really loud sound that'll startle off bigger things and stun its prey.
That's wild. It looks like it's...
So just imagine
Mhm.
if that were scaled up to being on a human, you'd be able to snap your claw and blow up.
Yep.
Then there'd be a lot of crushing force / cutting force.
Yeah, I'd have to see a side view because from the top it looks like it has the big portion of the claw is the meaty, the muscle, and the smaller part is the actual pincers, which means that's why it's so powerful and fast, because it has so much muscle powering that. Shout out to Word Crabs, guys. We didn't even talk about Word Crabs. We're Scorpion. Holy moly. Pro's nightmare. Arch enemy. We're Scorpions.
So many war animals possibilities out there.
So many, definitely. Pro should be a worse Scorpion. He should be the king of Scorpions. What's that, Boggle?
I just sent another one that had a more sideways.
Okay, let's check it out. Yep, so it does have the small pincher part, so that's why it's so powerful. That's a lot of meat. These guys were big. Those would sell for a lot of money. I just saw king crab legs for $70 at a grocery store here. Nuts.
Son of a bitch. You know, lobster actually went down significantly.
Well, it freaking should. I mean, they are farmed, or they should be farmed at least.
Oh no, they were wild caught.
Oh damn. Not supporting that then. Keep the price up. Okay, guys, let's get through this. Let's finish up. Imagine if we had double the people like we sometimes had. This would be going on for like 4 hours easy. We are at the 3 hour mark, and we're going strong still. So let's slowly wrap this up. Unless you guys don't want to. This is coronavirus Monstercast time. It's like
I don't know how to.
he doesn't know how to wrap it up.
Well, I do, but I'm not.
Let's box it up. Okay,
I'll
let's
be
go.
right back.
What's that, Dandy?
Let's.
I'm gonna get something to eat. I'll be right back.
Okay, cool. Thanks for letting me know. Griffo said I was hardcore researching about bats until I got burnt out, and there didn't seem to be any more information I could find. That's a nice burnout. Love bats, Griffs. Very quickly drawn. Okay, so here's the word tardigrade. Cool. I want a bigger belly on that one.
Alright.
I love what you did with the head, the eyes. Yep. The face that like pushes out, but then it has human teeth. Cool. That's your that tardigrade. Were tardigrade would go against Louis as the were elephant. You guys battle it out. Louis, I gotta warn you, this guy's packed. You punch him, he's gonna feel nothing. It's gonna bounce off of him. It's like those sumo wrestling costumes. Okay, let's see what you guys said on YouTube.
What about the were crocodile? Come on.
And the were crocodile, yes, he can get in there too and battle. He has the hard hide. Some were monster shrimp for a few levels. Bog, that will be the real One Punch Man. Super OCD, you gotta render those sketches and post them on Facebook. I would love to get a closer look at them, says Louis. Bullet shrimp also produce a lot of heat when he fires.
I did say
One Punch Man. Yep. Yeah, that's pretty wild to hear the heat portion of it. I'd love to see how they tested that out and all. That's fascinating. Griffo said, found a couple fictional books about bats too, such as Robin Jarvis's Oaken Throne. Love that book. Huh. And beautifully made children's book, Bats at the Beach. Wait, what? Hands out of the butt? Yeah, what the? Yes, Griffo, yes, what you heard. I didn't notice that I was putting it together.
Griffo leave the...
Go ahead, Boggle.
Oh, I just said, did Griffo leave the voice chat?
No, she's just hidden. That's what she does. She's an observer.
Oh, just a different name. Yeah.
She's the same name. She's Phoenix Griffin now. Actually, she's her original name. She's just on cloaking phase right now, so you can't see her. She's camouflaged with the gray. Redacted. Okay. I remember reading old book. Good. Silverwing. Here are some images of the children book. Okay, with were bats. Oh, they've got marshmallows with insect parts. That's so cool. And if that is a children's book that featured that, I love it because Americans are so, or people are so sensitive with children's book and what you can show. But look at that. It's got insect legs on it. What do you call those? S'mores in America when you put a cracker with a marshmallow when you're camping. Well, they have insect body parts. I love it, Griffo. Thank you. And they look like mice.
You know, I've met some people who thought that s'mores.
Can you finish a sentence, OCD, if you heard it?
Repeat that again.
Oh, I just said I've met people from other countries who thought that s'mores were just made up, that nobody would actually do.
Oh, I heard him. Okay. Yeah.
And then they tried it and they were like,
Right. Damn it, that makes me think I want to buy some ice cream sandwiches. What's that, Donde?
Returned. It's just cooking right now.
Cool. I'm gonna present mine in just a sec. Yeah, and those. It's funny because people often say bats are flying rats. Not really. They're quite different. They're not rodents. Whereas these drawings that Griffo shared from the book, they actually look like flying rats. They actually have more of that rodent face. But bats are not rodents. They don't have those big front incisors, those teeth. They have little fangs and things like that, which mice and rodents do not have. Bats at the beach. Yeah, see, those look like mice. Look, they even have whiskers. What the hell? Okay, I was praising the artist for what they did, but now, like, clearly showing that they're mice, I don't like when people do that, because they just had an idea, this artist or this writer, to make this cute idea, but they never researched the actual animal. And that always bugs me with movies. I hope it does that to you guys too. When you watch a movie and somebody calls this type of snake, but you clearly see it's another kind, or make a mistake like this. Maybe it's explained in the book differently, so I don't want to drag on this one too much. But if you're going to do something and present animals or hybrids or monsters, do your research. Like, know that a bat is not very related to a rat. I mean, to some degree it is, but, not that much. Because then kids look at that and then they come up with the saying, oh, bats are flying rats because I saw it in this children's book, and all that. It just starts from an early age. And maybe I'm being a little childish with my thing or too much, but I don't know. As far as animal knowledge goes, I go pretty picky with it because I think there's not enough of it. And when it gets skewed, it ruins it more. It's not a big deal, but I don't know. Bugs me. It's just, you could say it's a pet peeve to me. What a nice pun of a saying. Inclusion that is pet peeve. Okay, continuing. I can wrap my tongue. That's wonderful, JMPF. So can I. One Punch Man. Okay, there's Phoenix going off with the other books. See, those books. Yeah, they got it off better. Oaken Throne. That's a cool book title. Oaken Throne. I like that. Shout out. Okay, families related ones. Okay, no, I have myself. I lurk mode. Yes, no, I have myself on lurk mode. She says, am listening through YouTube stream since the Discord VC annoys me with its bleeping out. Gotcha. Okay, so that's why. Okay, guys. So my share, because I thought about this before when I thought about what animal I would want to be. Since I like the idea of hiding underwater, as much as I love the idea of being above and flying above everyone, the animal I chose is were dinos. Yeah. Chocolate, strawberry milkshake, wyvern milk. What are you guys talking about? Stop it. What I chose, guys, is the puffin. I don't know if that would be my were form, but let me go through my explanation. And then I'll go back to OCD's drawing.
Beautiful bird.
The puffin. Puffins rock because they look awesome. They're aesthetically pleasing. They have my favorite colors to go with together, which is black and white, along with these lovely other colors. They fly. They submarine. They just jump into the water and go straight through the water to catch fish like a bullet, which I love about them. That's why they look like a bullet. If you look at its beak, it looks like a powerful short beak. So they fly. They can, of course, walk on land and nerf through the water. Puffins rock. Love puffins. So for land, sea, and air, that is my Navy SEAL, the puffin. Now, in were form, would it be so cool? It'd be better than a penguin, I would say, for maneuverability. And I think actually in the were form, thinking of it now, I could see a superhero being kind of a were puffin form. Because again, it's kind of aesthetically, it's nothing too crazy. But you could see, I don't know, it's just working. Like being strong, they're thick. It'd be strong, it'd be fast, it could fly. And the other reason why I think it would work in comics, because it has an appealing look for children, for younger people, or for people in general. It's not something people would say, oh, that's disgusting. Oh, that bird looks crazy or crazed or ugly or something. You look at a puffin and it looks elegant. It's pleasing to the eye, especially the human eye, I think. And it has this clownish, detail around its eye. It's such a cool little creature. So shout out to the puffin for something a little different. I already shouted out the were pig. I was thinking they don't get enough attention to. So there you go. I hope you like that one, Griffo. And there's more to look to those there's more to those bat books. I remember the second one is them going to the library. Well, I think the artist just did it to make it look cuter than realistic. I think so too, but adding the whiskers like overdid it, you know? That made it clearly a mouse. Otherwise, it just looked like a mouse. Although it makes sense. They would have whiskers, but not that long. Looking at fruit bats and stuff. There is a large-eared bat in the image that looks like a bat. Forgot to if he drew a leaf-nosed bat in there. Yeah, maybe I went a little harsh there, Griffo, but it's a pet peeve. Like that do bug me. Moving on. Chocolate strawberry milkshake with wyvern milk. That's what's going on in our YouTube chat, everybody. Oh, we're puffing nice. Now for size, yeah, I was thinking larger, smaller. So yeah, that's a whole nother thing. I think about this because stand represent user's fighting spirit. Oh, stand. Okay. And yeah, puffin, that hybrid, it seems balanced too with the physical human form. Like I could see them being pretty good at martial arts, you know, something like that, etc. Okay, OCD's last drawing, which was or latest drawing. Let's see what it was.
Where's Scorpion?
Where's Scorpion? That looks wild. She went on all fours. See, I keep imagining them in human like stand-up form, but I love that you're going to the animalistic positioning. Yeah, this isn't pretty like the Marvel one, guys. Not Scorpion Man. So she's got the pincers in the front. Weird head with several eyes. And in the back, she has what look like legs that stem out into several limbs, if I'm not mistaken, which I've seen on body horror forums that I own.
Basically, the foot, the toes have spread out. They've gotten bigger.
Right. Okay.
Freaky.
Longer. Yep. So it is kind of that. And then the Z tail. That's wild.
Yeah.
All right.
Tail's like the hip bone with the coccyx making a little spike bit.
Spiky bit.
I'm just imagining that you've just been picking the ones that you knew you could try and make them most terrifying or distorted, and been ignoring the ones.
Well, actually, I just drew a weapon.
Yeah, actually,
Sort of.
I'm happy that you took on all of the challenges because I imagine some would be much harder than others to present. So I'm glad you took upon that, and you did do the werewolfen. Oh, I wasn't even gonna ask.
I just sketched it.
Yeah.
I mean, werebirds with like the human teeth incorporated into the beak are pretty.
Yeah, she goes kind of horrific there.
Actually, it
reminds you of what?
A clam.
Interesting stuff. Hey guys, hope you guys have enjoyed these 3 hours. You're going to be staying at home a lot, so I hope this just spiced up your week. I don't know. If you guys have a lot of free time here and you like doing these things, maybe if you want to run something during this coronavirus time that we're in quarantine, we can do more live things on here. Let me know if anybody has any thoughts. You guys are welcome to do that. I can try to stream it somehow. Maybe I won't run it. But let me know your thoughts. If you have a lot of time and you enjoy this and you don't have a lot of friends or whatever, a social life, you're welcome to bring up an event you can run here, at least during the time of the quarantine. So there's some ideas for you guys. I did enjoy this video. It's been a great one, actually. It's been a really good one. It's kind of, yeah, again, too bad Pro wasn't here. I hope he listens to it afterward. As a final note, let's vote on the next one. I have a great idea I want to shoot out, so I'm going to write it down. I'm going to present it after you guys give me some ideas. What are your guys' ideas for next discussion?
Yeah, I don't have one
Well, my first idea was like stone monsters, but I'm not sure if there's monsters that are like that are associated.
Associated with stone?
Yeah, whether it be a monster that turns things into stone, a monster that eats stones, a monster that's made out of stone,
Oh, I gotta.
just associated.
When you
with-
said eat stone, that just made me think of one big boy. You probably know who I'm thinking of from a movie.
Never.
Dondo's got it. Oh crap! I said it. Donde's got it. So
Slip up.
It's all over now.
So I like that. I like that you said related. So it's not just all like stone elementals, right? Rock elementals or earth elementals, because that's automatically where my mind goes to there. So stone related. Okay. What else we got here, guys?
What's that where we can like design something or come up with some ideas like this one? This was fun.
Creating. Well, we have
That'd
done.
be cool. Like we all try and make a monster that is somehow associated with stone or something.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's another addition to that, possibly. I was thinking one
Always love the creation ones the best.
a monster cast where we share drawings, because we never share drawings, but I feel like I'd be I would be a little lazy with that right now, because we have done a monster cast where we share our own creation, but we don't necessarily always share it visually.
Oh, the Monstercast where we shared our own creations. That was the first one that I joined you.
Oh, nice. Shout out. I'm reading your post, Griffo. You guys think of more suggestions for next monster cast? We can have at least 3. I have 2 already. Rats to look like mice. Yeah, it's probably because that stupid saying that they're flying rats, or people just associate one animal looks similar to another. That's what they are then. That's typically what...
Bats aren't flying rats. Seagulls. God.
Right, seagulls. So that's typically what people do, that don't know much about animals. Like all snakes are venomous, It's just assumptions like that. And it bothers me because it's more than a pet peeve for me, because I think it's important to a degree to have a certain degree of animal knowledge. I think it's healthy for us in our society. Doesn't necessarily have to go in depth, but, knowing certain things I think is beneficial more than it isn't. It isn't as if they're drawing one of the stranger breeds. Right. Okay, and I'm going to put the dibs on votes. Shapeshifters, please. Oh, so you're saying shapeshifters. Griffo, that is your topic suggestion? Shapeshifters? Didn't we do shapeshifters? What you talking about, Griffo?
I think we did.
Monster Elders. Ooh, that's a new one. Or old Ooh, I like that one. Let me write that down. Ooh. Nice, Balvin, for your first suggestion. That's a really good one. Ancient. Gonna chow at the moment. Talk to you guys later. See ya, Donde. And Balvin suggested Dino Monsters. Oh, okay, Dino Monsters. That's a new one, too. Dino Monsters. I vote for Stone. Stone. Okay, so... yeah, I'm not sure what you said there, Griffin, so I'm going to ignore it for now. I'll read what you said. So far, guys, these are the suggestions. Ready? Here we go. Okay, so the first one is my idea, my suggestion, which is Monsterites' most feared monster concepts. So basically, each one of us chooses another one of us. So I can choose, for example, JMPF. And then I create or come up with a monster that we know of, maybe from a game or something, that I think he would be the most frightened of. If I can't find one, then I'll make it up. So, of course, C would be an easy one, but you can be more creative about it, of course. Some spider-based monster, right, would be for C. But it could be something else, too. It could be reminiscent of a spider. So we all come up with the scariest monster we can imagine for one of the people that we always have in these chats. And I think it'd be a funner Monstercast or different one because it'd be more collaborative. It'd be more of us involved and, playing around with one another. So that's my suggestion. Then we have the second suggestion is stone related. Third suggestion is monster.
Perhaps ones that we specifically create because there might not be enough just stone-related monsters.
Okay, well, we'll see. Okay, so the stone-related monsters can be your own creations or that you find. Monster elders is another suggestion. So old-aged monsters, very old or ancient. And then we have dino monsters. Griffo finally finished her long post, did we? I haven't seen. JMPF, you are my librarian. We've done a shapeshifter monster cast before, haven't we? Where we talked about different shapeshifter monsters. You can let me know, JMPF. But we can throw that in as well. So shapeshifters as well, guys. Okay. So let's vote. And interdimensional monsters as well. That's also a vote. Interdimensional monsters. Okay, let's vote. Louis, Balvin, Raincrawler, Mark Peters. Anybody else that's watching on YouTube? Let us know your votes. Please type them out now. Everybody here, please type out or say your vote. Raincrawler goes elders. Donde said stone. Bog said stone. Donde left. Two for stone. Most feared says Joe or JMPF. I'm gonna say my own too. I'm gonna be a little partial on this monster cast. Usually I stay out of it, but I want to see this in action, so I'm gonna say my own, which is most feared monster concept to each one of the monsterites here. Bogos most feared. Super OCD's most feared. Choose one person. And maybe choose two just in case one gets too much of a beating from everybody.
It's too easy to make fun.
So 2 for stone, 2 for feared. Oh, we got 2 for elders now. We got 3 for elders. Ooh, that's a good one too. What the second one was about? I remember were sharks were mentioned. Yeah, were sharks were mentioned a lot. The last one, what was the last one about? Oh, it was about sharks. It was about shark monsters. And that was OCDs today. First one, monsters based on fears. Most feared says OCD. That's 3 against 3. So Boggo, you're losing out with your stone. Watch it then. Okay, vote most feared. Oh, we got it. And can't wait to talk about anti-IFA. Okay. Looks like... Cool. So that most feared one won. Let me check real quick, if I may, the Shapeshifters one, because I think the episode was even called something
Welcome
like
to
that.
World of Monsters
Just
or
a
WOM.
sec. Let me search it out here. Shapeshift.
I need to convince somebody to change the Monster Maker Challenge over to the Stone Monsters at least. I'm not a sore loser. I don't know what you're talking.
I'm thinking the shapeshifter one could be. Damn, I thought we had more videos than this. I think it might have been on Twitch because I don't see it on YouTube. And I know we have a catalog on Twitch. I haven't been to Twitch in a long, long time. Let me see real quick. I'm not even sure how to navigate it there. The videos. Okay, let's see. All videos. It could be on Twitch. Okay, I'm going to clarify what our next topic will be one more time, and then monsters with ridiculous weaknesses. That was a good one. That was number 20. I'm not seeing a bunch of episodes. And we had some, because we had the werewolf one. Like, I think there's a werewolf on the cover of it even. So let me know. Let me know, JMPF, or anybody, if you know. Can't. Okay, it was. It was what, JMPF? Cool. Okay, guys. So listen up, everybody. Our next talk will be, you choose another person in this group that you often see go live here. If they're absent that day, that's okay. We'll probably all still know them. So you guys over on YouTube, you can choose people that you see listed here, like Super OCD, the people you know, C, Chris, you know, the common folk that are often here. And you guys can, on Discord, you can choose everybody here, or on YouTube that comes up a lot, like Louis. We know that Louis arrives a lot. For example, Louis, the elephant, as he called himself. In cartoons, elephants are scared of rats. Ooh, little mice. So what do you think there about Louis' most feared monster? It's Chris. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Maybe, though. Wonder how many people caught that. So, choose one person here. It could be on YouTube that appears a lot. We know Rain Crawler's very often here. Balvin might return. We're not sure. But Rain Crawler, Mark Peters, Me Horror Show wasn't here today, but I know that's another person that's common. And then here you guys know everybody here. So choose one person. It could be me. And it could be anybody here. Griffo, Donde Pro, anybody. And think of the monster by how much you know. I want to see how much we know each other. So by how much we know one another, each other's fears, our intellectual side, our emotional side. Dig in upon that. If you know they like D&D, maybe it's going to be D&D based, you know. Dig into that and try to think of what you think that person would be the most, like the arch enemy. What do you think that would be the opposing side, the opposite, the monster they would most fear? I think that would be cool. And I think for another episode in the future, it would be cool to imagine for one another what you think a companion cool monster would be for that person, you know? So kind of the opposite. But the point of this is we always talk about ourselves. We always talk about our werewolf, our this and that, our favorite this. Let's explore one another. We've been here together often. We know each other pretty well. And this is a great way to learn more about one another even more and explore monsters that not necessarily have to be our favorites, but maybe somebody else's, our most hated. I see Super OCD is getting restless there. We'll give her a moment of silence for Super OCD. There we go. You guys heard it. That was Super OCD going off. And that's it, guys. So come up with one monster pertaining to one of us here, one of the Monsterites. I thought would be the scariest for that person or the arch enemy. Thank you guys for making this Saturday wonderful. This is the longest Monstercast I think we've ever done, or upon the top 2 or 3. It has been very long. Let me see again our longest ones, because we've had some over 3 hours lately. I chose him. Let's see. Watching now. 2.5, 2.
I want to grab one of the artists here and have have them draw a version of myself as a were creature because I've been trying and it just hasn't been coming out right. I get as far as a crocodile head and I'm like, how do I connect the neck? The neck should be thick. and-
Right.
No,
What I'm liking with OCD's work is they're quick sketches, but at least she got that balance down pretty nicely. Where
Wait, OCD, you never drew a crocodile one.
I can draw one for you.
he's on it.
Cheater. I only wanted to tease you, but that'd be nice.
Oh,
You sound so bashful.
I'm not bashful, you bastard.
Yeah.
with that lovely ending, I will say this is our no, this isn't our longest one. Our longest one is 3 hours and 40 something minutes. We are at 3 hours 25 minutes right now. Good stopping point. Thank you, everybody. I hope you guys stay safe, and I hope you dearly take advantage of that free time you guys have. Except for you students out there, you might be actually struggling even more now with school. But for those of you that have that free time, take advantage, learn something new, enjoy something new, subscribe to a new cool channel. If you have extra cash, support someone that doesn't because of work, especially a creator out there that you really love. The smaller, the better that you support them. There's a lot of small creators that deserve it. Thank you very much, JMPF. I knew you're working hard on it. There you go, Griffin. Monsters that transform. That doesn't mean we can't do another episode or a little different. So take advantage of this.
I mean, we haven't done a
Something.
specific one on monsters that mimic other things,
Ooh.
which would include transforming things or things that just look similar. Like there's a type of beholder that looks somewhat similar to another beholder and impersonates them so they can eat wizards' magical items later.
Love it.
I've heard of that.
Suggest that next time. Write it down, Boggo, because you know.
But I
we'll
want the
forget
stone
it.
one.
But you want the stone one. Okay, write them both down. And don't get
Also,
stoned.
now that we're in the aftermath, we did end the stream. Right?
No. You want me to end it?
Oh no! It just sounded like you were winding down.
We are.
I thought we'd already ended.
You can share one more thing publicly if you like.
Oh, I just wanted to go off about chatting about different things
Okay.
from Monster Hunter that would
Okay,
be
I'll
cool
finish
to
up.
be able to.
All right. Louis, see ya. Thanks for sticking around. See ya, Balvin. Thanks for chiming in and participating as well. Mark Peters, Raincrawler, thank you guys. Anybody else on YouTube, thank you so much. Remember, take advantage of these times. Seriously, guys, create something. Do something that maybe you can make money of, at least a little bit for the rest of your life, because now you have time to learn how to become self-sufficient financially, maybe.
And
Or
wash
in-
your hands.
Try things. Wash your hands while you do it. Create something. Now is the time. Because once you get back to work, don't ever complain that you didn't have time to do this or that. Now is that time. It's like you got this specific time just for that, because it's not a holiday. It can be very beneficial. So with that said, stay monstrous, my friends, wherever you are. Goodbye. Go ahead and say your goodbyes, guys, and we're done.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye. You know what? This is a sign. I just opened a D&D book and it came upon an elder rock element.
That is a sign.
So, yeah, there's a... How familiar are you with the series of Monster? Because there's a lot of interesting monsters in Monster Hunter that it would be cool to be able to transform into or transform into a hybrid. Am I talking too softly for you? Or
No.
Put him to sleep. No, no,
Distracted.
instead.